strong.
It's got 75 willpower.
Oh shit.
Get 20 10s in a row.
And I think it's got resistance to warp stuff.
Hello,
Oh, it's got a warp weapon too.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess you guys are facing next session then. Yeah. Yeah, go from beating up a few guys in a tavern to a fucking bloodthirster just shows up.
Guys, I might have a cold next week.
Yeah.
You guys go on without me.
They have a bloodthirster, but not a Lord of Change.
Cringe.
I ain't going with all those psychic powers. I'm just gonna just smack with the big axe or hit you with the whip. Hey.
Hello, yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I should leave.
Yes.
Oh, I was going to say hello, everybody. I am going to probably summon a demon or maybe summon a piece of pie. Who knows?
God.
Hey, man, I'm not that big of a sellout. Not yet.
Oh God.
All right, go on.
Yep. And the fucking metal. And I have 2 right arms now. Because we are very smart.
Yes. Seems we'll be in for another exciting time.
Yeah.
Now we're going
And-
through space.
Yeah. That place filled with all the nothing and danger.
Mm-hmm.
And
Before
last
you-
but not least, we have the floating skull above me, which would be our GM, Zach.
Yeah. Hey. And everything else.
And now, to summarize what happened last time, we went on a drunken drug bender. We finished things up on this world that we were nearby with 3 competing powers
Faction.
vying for control over governorship of said planet. We came up with a very interesting compromise between all, and by that I mean Holtz did, because the rest of us were completely elsewhere. 2 of us were on a drunken drug bender. 1 of us was dealing with all of the gang warfare down below and managed to acquire the toaster.
Yes. Toaster acquired.
Those that are gone.
Yeah, so 2 of the party did useful stuff. The other 2 just went on a bender with some NPCs.
Excuse me. I got a robot arm.
Did you even listen to how he said it? You fucking...
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Fuck, Marius is calling people out. God damn.
Sorry.
You're good. I enjoyed that.
Do you want to summarize the current stuff that you guys got up to? Aside from the new metal arm?
Oh God, yeah, sure.
Well, what else did you do then?
Oh boy.
Tell me what you remember of the bender.
So first, I believe that
I'm gonna take that as a no.
I don't remember what we did first, but I do remember that we found a big rat, and we also got the rat high with cheese. And then Rat Skin, who is now on the ship, injected some needle into my neck and gave me psychic powers, which I used to burn down a fuck ton of trash.
Yeah, I became a
then
pyromancer for a while.
Yep. And then after they went away, I decided that I still want to destroy shit. And Gizmek was there, and I had this cool arm.
You
I
were
don't need to
bored
explain
and
the
you had a
rest.
cool arm, and we were like, you know what? Fuck it. And so we went to there was a tattoo parlor owned by one of the members of a gang. What was their names?
The
Sasha.
night ladies.
No, the gang
Women
Women
name.
of the Nights.
Yeah, Women of the Night.
Women
Yeah,
of the
right.
Night. Yeah, Sasha of the Women of the Night. That we had bowled into at one point because Gizmek had been, like fucking fuckface drunk and chasing
was
after
chasing
a
a
dog like a couple sessions back.
Yep.
And so we went back there during this fucking bender and gave Sator a new left arm, which happens to be a right arm. So now he has two right arms, and this one is a bionic makeshift power fist. But
Yep.
that whenever he uses it, he has a chance of gaining fatigue from it.
And it's one pen less less powerful than a power fist. Anyway, do you
Yeah.
also want to explain how you ruined the economy?
Oh yeah, bananas! That's all you need to know. Let's move on.
Yeah, we're not quite sure how it happened, but they went to a stock building and then came out with a banana that exploded, and some people had to jump out of the building because the stock market just absolutely
Crashed.
Say it, boom.
crashed hard. But thankfully, the ship had already got their supply, so they don't care.
It's true. We don't.
Yeah,
Gonna
we
leave it hard to
didn't give a
Blackwell,
shit. Meanwhile, we left a broken, crashed stock market for Holtz's brand new ally, the trade woman, who he just set things up with.
Should we also say what happened to the pizza party?
Oh yeah, we'll leave that to
just
Holtz.
left. I mean, long story short, I went to look for the AI, and it left. It left a note saying, "Hi, thanks for helping me out, but also fuck you." It didn't say fuck you, but like basically just like it left after leaving me a note with a few optimal trade routes. It's not my problem anymore. Perhaps we'll see it again. Perhaps not.
Wasn't it like "You're not my crew"? Bye.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's about an abrupt summarization of what happened last session. But I feel like we spent a good amount of time summarizing this stuff. I think we should move along now.
Yeah.
It's the game.
So yeah, well, I believe the plan is that you guys are heading to the planet of Asqualia, which nobody has really been to in the past, like, couple thousand years.
We're
Yeah.
heading to the Eulyptus system.
And this is our
that-
first time with warp travel, isn't it?
Yep.
Is everyone ready?
Hey, what else we gonna do but be ready?
I'll go to the spire.
Navigator, have you finished charting your course?
Right away, Captain.
Yeah, I'll get to work on that little swingy chopper of yours.
Thank you.
So then, might as well start rolling all the stuff.
Yep.
So, Mr. Navigator, give me a navigation warp to see if you
Yeah.
see your estimate of how long it's going to take. Take in
But
real space.
it's base navigation warp, right?
Mm-hmm. No modifiers or anything. I would have noted those.
Ooh.
Alright, so
4.2 degrees of success. Damn.
Yeah, so it's about a 9.5 day journey.
Yep.
So. Okay, so yeah, I don't know why I was going to write out to math it, but no, it's times 10. 10 times the days. It's going to take you 95 days in real space, but 9.5 days through the warp.
Yep.
So you guys are going to experience 9.5 days. The rest of the galaxy is going to experience 3 months.
Damn.
Now let's
just-
do it then.
Damn.
Just think for how the warp travel works, that you guys go through, spend what feels like 9 days, come out, it's been 3 months.
Yep.
Yeah, so don't
will
expect to
be-
get anywhere quickly. That's not
we
how this
will
will.
be allowed to know what happened on that. At least we'll know what happened on
Yeah.
Dandorf pretty quickly.
You could just go there and then come back, and with 20 days, like, or better part of a year will have passed, you'll be able to see what happened.
Yep. And now to
Alrighty.
see if I can detect the Astronomicon.
Plus 10 awareness.
Okay.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be giving yourself a plus 50 on the steering wheel.
Oh my.
Now I will. So what would a plus 10 navigation warp? So it would be the. Because I rolled this secret.
My navigation is 61, so 71 target.
Ooh. Okay.
Ooh.
So yeah, so that's to see if you manage to like
And now,
anticipate any encounters that will happen. And we'll find out when they happen. Now a navigation warp with a plus 50.
Yep. This is to
Does he-
see how quickly we're going to get through the war very quickly.
Yeah, this will be you speeding up the travel.
You rolled an 81, damn.
You can always
That's the
re-roll it if you want, but 3 degrees
No,
of success is
that's
the
the
fastest you can get.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the fastest anyway, so yeah.
Alright, so it's 9.5, and you reach it in a quarter. So that's 2 1/3 days. So instead of taking 95 days to get there, you managed to like steer and like follow a bunch of currents and all of that through the warp to speed you up. It makes you only 23 days in real space rather than 95.
Damn, I ain't even gonna get started on your
Oh,
fucking
boy.
warp on your fucking sword, man.
Yeah, that's gonna have to be put on the back burner.
That's the only disadvantage.
Yeah, so it's a pretty good start as you guys head out, and yeah, so the ship kind of travels out to the edge of the warp, and
You know,
it's the vacuum of space, so no noise happens as this just like tear in reality appears, showing this just like swirling maelstrom of every color conceivable and some that humanity have never seen before. Like swirling like faces and teeth and claws and that appearing every now and then. And the ship seems to almost like bits of the warp kind of come out, grab the ship and pull it inside. And then the rift closes behind it. And the ship starts going through the warp. So it will only take you 2 days, but there is still one roll for the warp travel encounter.
Yeah,
So
that's all.
roll me a D100. You did not get a
Oh.
plus 20.
Damn.
You failed that one. I rolled a 95.
Oh god.
I believe you have something on this
No.
ship.
The walls start to melt.
But you have something on this ship. You have the warp stain hull, so roll it again.
No.
And you should have had a plus
We
7 on
get-
the pilot.
We get to choose.
Yeah, so roll again, see what you get. Right, so oh yeah, the navigator picks. So 3 is the very fabric of the vessel and altered in some way. And a 66 is a warp storm.
Oh
God.
So either the vessel gets messed up by some warp stuff, or you get put off course. So essentially, I imagine this is as you're going along, as you're following along in these eddies, you speed yourself up. You notice this warp storm kind of pops out in like the space in front of you, and you have a choice. Do you want to go around it, or do you want to go through it? Going around it will cost you time, and it will be possible that you get lost. Going through it puts a strain on the Geller field. It's a
Yep.
small bubble of real space. It's around
If
this
I
ship.
don't do well while going through, I'm going to guess that that's gonna happen.
Yeah, because it's like the warp storm will be like there'll be a test to see how well you manage to navigate around it, and possibly you could get lost. It could just take longer if you do well. But then reality erosion,
Yep.
well, you'll find out what happens if you do it.
Oh god.
Employed
Would you-
entertainment.
What's the vote on this?
I think we should just take the safer route. I don't want either a demon or, the ship to get fucked up.
You don't want reality to erode?
No.
Oh god.
Go around it, Marius.
Uh,
I was looking at your name tag on Roll20, my bad.
It's fine.
Go around it, Satan.
Alright, we are gonna go around the warp stone, Captain Sorcerers.
So roll me another navigation warp. You get a +10 from the warp bane hull, which we forgot earlier.
Ooh.
Alright. So yeah, so you manage to like plot the course and go around it. The other navigator helping out, and Justice Path's also probably reaching out a bit, examining things. They don't have a marking for the Blackstone on here. Yeah, so you manage to, you notice it in time and you kind of swerve and start going around it. Roll me a d5. D5 plus 1, actually. You just defeated.
Cool.
2, it costs you 2 extra days.
Yep, so we don't get to roll again for a warp event.
Yeah, it's every 5 days, or if it's less than 5, you still just roll 1.
Yep.
So
What
you
is
4.3 days, so you managed to make it through without encountering anything else.
So what is
As you
the
got through
3?
in still half the time with the original travel time.
Nice.
Yes, managed to navigate around it and then like find the light and figure out where you are and get yourself back on course.
Wait, don't we still
You
get that
continue
3?
along.
Yep.
What was that?
Yeah. What was what?
The 3 out of 100 that I rolled. The other option that we...
That was the ship gets
That
rid of.
was
was
reality
basically-
erosion. That would have been if you
basically,
pushed through it. Something like
Zach,
that.
Zach
Yeah.
decides something weird to happen.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
because
so
you
we
guys- you
so we
guys have the
basically
warp
chose
thing
the
hull,
66. Gotcha.
Yeah, because you guys would also the hole you pick, and you guys chose the safer but more timely option.
Which is not
Kind of-
really that timely.
Which turned out to be a good idea, as only took you 4 days. Well,
Yep.
4 and a third.
Mhm.
Now should I
Yeah.
roll the final roll to see how well we
let's
get
see
out of
that.
the warp?
Yep, a -20 navigation warp.
Does it get to add the
I
detective?
guess
to
it doesn't
or-
matter.
Doesn't matter.
5.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have the detection because the ship can't scan stuff in the warp
Okay.
because it's all about the navigator's senses.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can try and ping stuff out. What you get back will just be garbled messes, as any things that you send out just gets warped by the warp, as they lose any reason to remain in a cohesive state that you understand while they're outside of the Geller field.
So seeing how well I rolled on leaving the warp, I'm going to guess that we're really close to the planet, but not as that close that is dangerous to us.
Yeah, rolling bad means you can pop out like quite close to the sun.
Yep.
Yeah, if that you still come out like the edge of the system where it is safe to translate out, where the gravity can't rip your ship into mighty massive changes from the rear to the front of the ship. Yeah, you pop out on like the right side of the system where that planet is like coming towards. So that'll be about a day to reach it with real space engines, which is about the standard.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit less. Yeah.
Successful warp travel,
So I've had
boys.
about 6 days to work on
Yep.
Malachi's
4 or 5.
weapon. I'm assuming the hilt is done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but-
you've like taken the dagger apart and like basically you've made the blade, but now you need something to actually hold on to and actually channel through. So right now it's just like a really good blade, but nothing to hold.
Yeah, I'm putting that inside of my inventory right now. Like
Yes,
that.
in,
I
in
don't
a
have.
pinch, you could probably like manage, like you could probably figure something out to use it, but it's not going to be ideal and it's not going to be stable. So yeah, so
No, no.
you can bring
I
it if you
probably-
want, or you can leave it.
Probably
No,
at
I mean,
best
I
it
would
would be
say-
unbalanced.
I mean, I was saying that I was going to put in my inventory that 6 out of 9 days progress on it.
Yeah, so you could still use it in a pinch, but it's probably not the best idea. Yeah. So you guys start heading towards Australia.
Yep.
As you come towards it, you see this brownish, greyish orb. Just like probably like half the size of Earth, give or take. Yeah. No oceans you can see, although a few like kind of like bluish, but like dirt, like almost like a dirty puddle. Like those are kind of scattered around the place. So you can scatter around the planet as you get scans back of it. And yeah, what's the plan? As you know, there is another planet in the system, a place called Vindar, which I haven't done the full write-up for yet.
Oh, let's go there first.
It's a hive world.
Let's go there first. He hasn't written it up yet. No.
Yeah. And
No.
another thing, any like traditions that Holt has for successfully leaving the warp? And like, you guys are experienced, you've done it before, but it's still like it is still something that most people like tend to celebrate a bit. Like getting out a bottle of Amasec or making a cake or something tends to be fairly common.
Holtz just basically makes a log in his captain's log, basically saying, "We've successfully Lord Captain's log. 999M41.
Current date that we're not bothering to keep track of because
Yes.
it doesn't matter. It's 40k, nobody cares.
We've successfully emerged from another warp travel. We've arrived earlier than scheduled, which I believe is a testament to our new navigator's capabilities.
End log.
End log, yes.
And that's it. That's
Yeah,
this
you gotta
entire
You gotta
celebration.
make sure you say that, or it'll just keep recording your words till
Yeah.
you say it.
Also, right after we leave the warp and we see that we landed safely and everything, Sator is gonna take one life miss for himself to celebrate.
At the end, just he just takes an inhaler shot, just like he's got asthma. But this purple mist billows out, so it's very, very clearly not asthma medicine.
Yep.
Malachi is gonna take one of the gunners, or some of the gunners, to the bar, just like, come on! I didn't get to summon any demons this time.
Yeah, like that's definitely like a thing that the crew will do. So yeah, successfully out of the warp. Let's have a bit of a party because we survived.
Because Meg's
Yeah,
probably
it's
going to
like-
join
It
at
was
the bar.
uneventful for you guys, but there are probably like a dozen or so just minor horror stories taking place on the lower deck. So like a crewman went insane and went on a murder spree. Another guy got partially possessed by a demon, but those are standard. Those just happen. There's like crews that it's like most people kind of lock down during the stuff. You lock down most of the crew, but there are people that go around like inspect things, make sure everything is not going insane, and dealing with the stuff that is. Yeah. Some things are like the pinnacle moment of several, like a couple hundred people's lives, but just not really worth mentioning. Yeah, you guys emerge out over this, this ugly like mud ball. It looks like.
How dare you insult that planet?
Yes, insulted more. Let's go down there and mess it up.
It looks worse than Dandorf did. Dandorf was just grey and not fun looking. This one almost looks like a ball of shit.
No, Wanderer, what can we find out about this place on the Auspex scanners?
We can start scanning it. It will take some time, but we can see if we can figure out where there's life signs, maybe where any settlements are.
That
Things
would be a
like
good
that.
start.
While
Then
we
let's
waiting
just-
around, we can get a better view from lower down.
Because if we land down anywhere, we could just be walking for days, Gizmek. And I'd be
I can
bored
use
out
the
of my mind.
exercise. Ain't really good to walk around this cramped place.
Patience, Gizmek. You'll get your
Oh,
excitement
I
soon
had
enough.
too much patience already.
Wonder how
Becca
long
sort
will
of
it
taps
take?
his foot.
Oh, depends how good of a scan that we do. The longer it takes, the more accurate we can be. We could do a quick one in a few hours. The standard one is a day. We could take a few days to get more accurate.
Yeah, I'll just keep working on his dagger, on his sword. Gizmek goes back to working on Malachi's sword.
But yeah, so it's basically like you can for like a couple hours and get like a normal roll of a target of 38 for the crew, or for every day that you spend, you'll get a plus 10.
Could use those extra days, Cat.
Yeah, go ahead and use a couple extra days. I could finish up Malachi's sword. You could do a proper one.
Yeah. How many days do you need
For we.
to
I think
finish
we
the,
were about. I would think
sword?
we were about 3 short to finish up his sword.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like 2.5. So yeah, functionally like 3 days.
All right, we'll take 3 days.
Alright. So, D100 target of 68.
44.
Nice.
So that would
Okay,
be
2 degrees.
2.4 degrees of success. Yeah.
Right. So, what kind of things would Holt be interested in hearing about?
Basically, like where the major settlements are and who's running them.
Yeah, they can't tell that much. They don't have. They don't seem to have any kind of Vox technology. Like you're not picking up any any electromagnetic signals or anything like that.
Okay.
So you can definitely tell low tech.
Yeah.
Certain.
What,
Yeah, so you could pick up like.
Holt is like,
concentration.
what do you mean they don't have Vox chatter?
They've got none from our thing. They basically got dumped here with nothing. So probably spears, maybe basic ass guns. Be the best you can expect from this place.
Hmm. Any sign of conflict?
Nothing major, but it'd be quite hard to tell. When they wouldn't exactly leave craters behind, just bodies, which they'd probably clear up later.
Wildlife. Anything to be watchful
there's the-
for?
There's some. It's hard to get a beat on it. Nothing. No mega flora or mega fauna. So nothing huge. Yeah, wouldn't be anything bigger than a human, probably. Horse at the biggest.
And what about breathing?
Breathing, it's got a lot of pollutants and like chemicals in the air. So it's fine to breathe for a while, but you want to bring a rebreather to purge your lungs out of it every now and then. Definitely take some rebreathers. Yeah, so there's a decent amount of settlements, normally dotted around these lakes, but a few that aren't. There's a small mountain range with a small like forest around it. A couple of small settlements near that. Yeah. Seems like one of those ones around the mountain seems to be the biggest, but that is hard to tell.
Any sign of what the Spear of Light was doing on this planet?
Nothing that we can pick up. There's no big energy signatures or anything like that. So there's no big galaxy engines or anything like that.
Okay. Out of character. Holtz did not pick up any rebreathers.
You'd have a bunch on the ship.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like basic ass gear like that, like rebreathers, vac suits. I can't remember what they're actually called in this, but that's what I know them as.
Void suits.
Yeah, void suits. That's it. Yeah, like void suits, las weapons, rebreathers.
Okay.
You can get those in abundance because the crew used them.
Okay. Then
You basically go up to them and be like, "Hey, give me your shit." Okay.
fair enough.
They gotta go find extra ones, but that's their problem.
I send a message throughout the ship that I'm assembling a landing party and I expect Gizmek, Sator, and Malachi to be there. We're making planetside soon.
Finally!
Are you gonna bring a squad of walkers?
Have them on standby, but I don't think I'll need them just yet.
You have them kind of ready to come down in another shuttle if needed. So that'd be like, you wouldn't be able to get them down in a hurry. You don't have drop pods. It'll probably take them like an hour to get down. But you could get any Vox and get them down quick.
Yeah.
So you want to do your little moment of revealing the sword?
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's kind of like as you get told that you're coming up to the meeting, you head down to find Gizmek.
yeah,
See if he's got the blade yet.
Malachi is walking with an empty sheath now as he begins walking through the halls. Everybody is looking in astonishment of the astropath transcendent as he keeps walking, making his way to the cargo bay.
It's not quite like, oh my god, this chapter's like, oh hey, it's Malachi, how's it? How's it going?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, he's the psychic boy.
Yeah,
but
you're
that's
just
to get to
basically
know the
bros
crew,
with
and
people in this
they're
area. at
starting
this
to
point.
recognize you.
Yeah.
At least the guys you've been hanging out with have. It's pretty hard to hang out with all 24,000 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if Malachi had to put a couple of them down for being possessed.
Yeah.
But yeah, Malachi would basically begin making the elevator way down to the storage cargo, open it up, and just see Gizmek tinkering.
You see Gizmek, you look at the back of Gizmek's form, he's still in his armor because he never fucking takes it off even when he's working, and you just see the back of his hunched form, like, banging at something on a bench out
As
of
a
view.
note, Gizmek does not smell good.
Oh yeah.
Quite a stench.
Oh. Why did the Emperor have to bless my other senses? Gizmek, have you just been sitting here banging on this board?
No griping if you want it!
Malachi will begin approaching. Just
Just the loud sounds of clang, clang, clang as he bashes metal on metal. Alright, thinks I got it. Let's give this a shot. He just turns around and in like half a second he tosses this bladed weapon at your chest. Like,
Jesus!
like for
Which
you
is
to
like,
catch.
yeah, what does this blade look like? Do you want to roll to catch it?
So basically, I'm assuming that Malachi has basically given Gizmek like a strong idea of how he wants it to look over time. So I'm going to let Malachi describe how he wants his sword to look.
all right. So I want to go ahead and have I want to go back to I want to see like Gizmek, a montage of Gizmek creating schematics, doing calculations and math, tinkering and ironing out, just banging on stuff, creating sparks using his welder, that whole montage. And then when Malachi finally gets his sword, he's expecting something like of really really intricate design. It's just his old sword written, but scrapped on it is just the words warp on it. Just like, is this going to work?
There's also
No,
like a pile in one corner, so all of these weird looking crystals. Like if they couldn't fall, they just trash them.
He's literally like embezzled the word warp in really, really bad Gothic on the sword with the crystals.
It would be either warp or force, like F0 undercase C, like, and then like that.
No. I think I know how Gizmek would do it. It's just like it just wrote right cuts better.
Short, weird short.
Weird sword.
Malachi picks it up and begins attuning to it as he feels. Gizmek, remind me to never question your knowledge ever again. It's like
Yeah. I set up a target for you. It's right there. He points to like this. He's set up like this mannequin-shaped thing of like just a bunch of like plates upon plates of like
is it a
stacked up
mannequin,
metal.
or is it a crewman that you've tied up?
It is actually a mannequin for once because he couldn't wrangle anyone. Everyone would actually run screaming from him this time around. Like people have learned at this point to get the fuck away from him, so he's just had a stack of like it's basically just a shit ton of scrap metal stacked on top of each other.
So like a foam finger stuck on one of the arms.
Yeah, basically that just says it just says "get" written in really bad penmanship.
Written on the chest.
Yeah, Malachi would begin to focus on the blade as its psychic energy protrudes from it, and basically he'd do a series of strikes for damage with 6 pen. Just going.
Yeah. Takes an arm off.
Yeah.
Goes straight through it like butter.
This is nice, Gizmek. This is nice. like he sheathes the sword in like a samurai.
And then the whole thing just collapses. Not from you hitting it, just because it was stacked badly.
Yes.
Or now I can use your scrap for something actually useful. Gizmek starts picking up the scrap. And
Yeah,
starts
you
bringing
don't need
it
to
over
spend
to
a
where
fee for that. That just happens because why not? The thing just collapses as you happen to put it away. It's just amazing coincidence timing.
The rule of cool.
Yeah.
I owe you, Gizmek. That is for sure. And Malachi is going to like stare, like focus, and actually put his hand on his hilt for about 18 seconds before he goes ahead and I know some of you might get this reference, some of you might not. He goes ahead and cuts through the air as the same time basically a gate of infinity appears right in front of him, almost like he's tearing open reality, and he begins walking through it.
Well, roll me to channel it. For the hell of it, see if you summon a demon, because that'll be funny.
All right, Zach. I'll give this to you.
That would be funny.
Okay, you're fine. It's like this guy's like, huh, oh, demon!
Demon comes out just like, oh,
Hi! You can't!
Jotaro Dio.
The demon on the toilet is like, hey! Fuck out of my house!
I'm shitting here.
Oh god.
And you cut it open, make yourself your portal. Then you step through, and where are you?
Malachi would be on the bridge or near the shuttle departure docks.
Yeah, it's been called to get up for departure. So yeah, you just step through over to the shuttle dock. And then does Gizmek follow him through, or is Gizmek just going to walk over there the normal way?
Gizmek doesn't know where the fuck this thing goes and just sees this as some flashy gate, whatever the hell, but he just sort of looks at it, he's just like, sure, whatever. And then he gets his weapons and goes down the normal way.
I mean,
what do Malachi's like portals look like? What does it look like when you look into it? What do you
looking
see?
into it, it is basically the equivalent of the outside of the pretty much the same as what a ship goes through. Basically, swirling colors, not as many demonic faces, but it's kind of a mixture of swirling colors, purplish blue haze, maybe kind of signify that.
Oh, if it's purple at all, then I don't even see the fucking portal.
You don't see the portal.
I just see you walk into nothing and vanish.
Oh, where did Malaki go?
Oh god.
What does Malachi experience as he steps through it? Does he have like a brief moment where he's in the warp and then out, or do you just step through it like a portal? He
has been basically Malachi is experienced enough in the warp that even the slightest little glance of it could cause major insanity and ramifications. So how basically the difficulty of summoning this portal is keeping it these two spots so compressed together that you don't even get a glance of the warp. That's the main difficulty of it.
Yeah, people would just like step through probably for like a moment of like weightlessness and then like out the other end.
Mhm.
It would be a bit disorientating if you weren't expecting it, but yeah. And Malachi's like experience with it, he just steps through, doesn't even blink about it.
But actually, are there other people on the shuttle dock to just see, a warp portal just?
Yeah, they just like look over and see you step out of it, look concerned, like kind of like looking between you and the portal. And how long did it stay open for?
I think Malachi can choose to close it
You
whenever.
can close it early if you want.
But normally it just stays open for the amount of rounds equal to my psi rating.
So what's your psi rating?
It is 4 right now, so it would be about 24 seconds.
Yeah, 24 seconds, give or take. Yeah, so are you going to close it when you step through?
If Gizmek is going to follow, then yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to like look between you and the portal like quite nervously, and then when it closes, there's like an audible sigh of relief. It's like, okay. And they'll go back to their working. As you get to them, we're like, did he just open a portal to the warp? What the fuck? Okay, it's closed. Like, so like, is a demon gonna come? Okay.
Everyone's kind of like now. They also start to second guess. Like, wait, is that Malachi? Is that a demon?
Yeah, definitely. A few are kind of like eyeing you, but nobody says anything because you don't want to be the one to unmask the demon. They tend to kill that person.
But yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's what happens. Appreciate that.
Anything else anyone wants to do, or do you all just meet up?
Nah, at this point, I just grab my weapons and head to the meetup.
Yeah.
See, you'll just meet up at the shuttle deck. You'll pile in. And are one of you piloting it, or do you have an NPC or a servitor?
I'll pilot it. Why not? I have pilot spacecraft and pilot flyers.
Yeah. For the hell of it, roll. Both of those work, as this shuttle does work as both. So roll it to see how good of a pilot you are.
4 natural 100.
Yeah, so you're not going to crash because this is like a fairly easy entry. But yeah, definitely, it's bumpy.
Oh boy.
It starts out all nice and smooth. You're going through space. You're looking around, seeing all the stars. You see the planet slowly getting bigger. And then
Gizmek gets bored and starts shaking from side to side.
Fire starts building up around the side of the ship.
Hold on, I gotta roll something real quick. Yeah, Malachi has a fortunate son playing in the background as he gets flashbacks.
Oh god.
Imagine Matt like putting on all of these straps that he can, like taking the seatbelts from the neighboring seats and putting them over him.
Oh god. I don't.
It's bumpy and rocky, and there's a disturbing amount of fire outside the windows, but eventually that clears
Like,
and you find yourself just
at all the like
As
explosions and
building up
bumps
around
and
the
everything,
windows,
Gizmek
like,
is just like
don't
bouncing up and down.
Don't worry, gentlemen. This is normal.
Peter is just sitting still, being like, "This is fine. This is fine. This is
It's
fine."
fine.
eventually you get through the
This
atmosphere.
is
and
fun!
slow down. Get through the atmosphere, and just slow it back down so there's no more fire. And you see this, this open expanse of just like shrubland. Pretty much, you see like from really high up, you see like small dots kind of moving around, seemingly like animals and stuff going around doing their business. This small like shanty town looking thing. It's like it's like rough, like almost like palisade wall around it, and all of these like slightly leaning, like very shitty medieval looking buildings, all made out of wood. You're just kind of like backed up against this lake with like a forest in front of it with like mountains in the distance.
Time to show these people, to remind these people of the glory of the Emperor of Mankind. And he will park his shuttle.
How close? Because you're not going to be able to fit it inside, as there's not enough space. Like, how far out of it are you going to go?
We can
Close
fit it
enough
inside. We just have to crush some of those buildings.
Close enough that they see it.
Like, how far of a walk?
As little walk as possible. I would if there was a courtyard where I could land in the middle of it and be like,
It's like the town walls and then just shrubland. There's like a couple bushes, a few small trees, and then the forest off in the distance.
Hold up just a moment. Did you say there was like a wall? Is there like a proper wall around this entire place?
It's like a palisade wall. So it's like they took the trees, popped up the branches off, and stuck them in the ground and put them all in a line.
Yeah, wooden logs.
There's like a bunch of logs all stuck up, making a wall around the place.
I know the kind of wall you're talking about. Damn. So yeah. I was waiting to be like, all right, Gizmek's going to jump out and land on this wall as we come.
They are sharpened at the top. They are like spikes.
No. I know what kind of wall you're talking about now. So I'm like,
Yeah.
no, that wouldn't happen.
Yeah. So if you could like land like just on the other side of the wall, like right in front of the gate, if you wanted to.
yeah, that's probably what I would do.
Yeah. Just like a few feet outside of it and land.
Holtz is flashy enough to do that.
Yeah, you have to see like as you're approaching, because ships don't land amazingly quick. You got to kind of come down, slow down, find your spot, go and slow down enough that you can set down. And it's fairly bumpy, kind of like jerking back and forth as you're like speeding up a bit and slowing down too fast. Sauce doesn't have a ton of experience at landing shuttles. It's like kind of bouncing back and forth and in your seats. Eventually, you kind of come to a stop. And you see this small group of about 20 or so people It's like dark skinned, quite like ruddy looking, like almost like leathery like skin. They're like quite tough skin. Just there in these very like apocalypse looking like clothes. Very like Fallout style gear.
And
You can see these like crude like muskets kind of. That they have is a bunch of them are holding that, and one is stepping forward, looking older than the rest. He's got this like bit of a beard growth, whitish hair, and like stepping up more toward. They can like cautiously looking at this thing, like trying to figure out where, like, okay, what's going to happen now?
And Holtz, as he like lands down, like gets up from his seat. He obviously wasn't wearing a seatbelt. And
yeah, that
Holtz
kind of
went through
data.
the front windscreen now, so
Holtz is dead.
yeah.
Campaign's over.
We can't be giving people these notion that they can just not wear a seatbelt.
True.
We gotta be safe.
Yeah, this campaign has to set a proper example for the kittens.
And Holtz opens the door and steps out. And as he steps out, sees people quote greeting him. He spreads his arms out and says, "Rejoice, men and women of Asqualia. For too long you've been separated from the God Emperor, but I've come to claim this planet back in his name. The people and the land are claimed in the name of the mighty God Emperor. The spoils I take for myself."
You see them like kind of looking at you, and like kind of the look on most of them of like, I'm not entirely sure what he just said.
And then Gizmek steps out next to him and is just like, yeah, what he said.
And you see the like old one in the front kind of like looks at you and goes, "Oh, you are to the being of the sky people, yes?"
Oh my fucking god.
What did you hear me just said?
Oh, that is a big one that is green. Why is that one being the green?
Captain, did we get the right planet?
Sator just starts laughing.
This is the right place, yes.
Gizmek turns to Holtz. Can I start bashing him yet?
Oh, not yet. They haven't accepted their place as members of the Imperium.
We are
yet.
very grateful for you to being the coming. There's been
Alright,
many.
so
many
I
cycles
knows that you all been not talking with the other humans for a long time, and even I knows that you speak this gothic shit even more than I do.
We are to the be doing of the talking, yes.
I think we need to get genuinely acquainted with these people.
I believe there's things to discuss. Yes.
We be having the records of the speakings of before we did the coming of here. IB did research on it.
And who are you people? You and your community here.
Why did I not make names?
Zach! You and me,
I
man!
don't
Fucking pull out a random name generator right
Yeah.
the fuck now!
Just name him Joff. Just name him Joff. There.
I just always go like, I never think to give them names.
His name's Joff! Hi, Joff!
Give them a random necron names.
Too late, Zach. His name is Joff now.
Oh no, wait, I do have this guy's name. So let me check my notes. I do actually have. I have the elder's name. Find it.
Elder Joff.
I be to being called the Gary.
God damn it.
Fuck!
And your community's name? If it has one.
Oh, we are to being called the Goblins.
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 The goblins.
That is what we are to being the calling ourselves. Apologies, others do not speaking this language.
I think we need to get acquainted with them.
Yes, we are very happy to be meeting these sky peoples. Please come in. Many foods.
Hmm.
Well,
Well, they said food. Let's go. Gizmek starts
Yeah, I was
just
about to
pushing
say,
past
yeah,
him
no, it's
towards.
like- We go.
Please be doing the following of me. He turns out, leading you in, like waving to the rest, and like
You will notice
saying-
that Gizmek is not
speaking in
following
this-
him, but actually running past him because he mentioned food.
Yeah, he like turns to the rest and speaks in this like guttural, like from the throat, like almost like African sounding language, but not quite.
Would this be anything close to speak language hive dialect?
No, this is like a language that these guys have basically. Like you could probably catch like the occasional like word here and there that sounds similar, but it's definitely like something like they have this language and it's just bastardized over time.
Well, Malachi is going to lean over to Holtz and say in rogue trader tongue, "Lock up the ship. I don't trust this."
Oh, the ship was already locked.
As soon as you left
I assumed we were like standing on the like pad of the ship, just about to leave it. So yeah.
Horse turn and press the button on the keys. And beep
Yeah.
beep. Locks up.
Locks up, turrets jump out, get ready to shoot at anything that comes way too close to it.
This isn't Aquila. You guys, it doesn't have guns.
Oh.
Any guns it has is what you guys bring.
Oh god.
Yeah, you guys follow Gary.
We follow Gary. How do the rest of the people respond to us so far?
Yeah, they kind of like look at you with this. There's like a slight measure of suspicion, but more like new people. Yeah, they're actually like, probably seen before. Like, yeah, they're kind of like, okay, we're us. These are not us. Be wary, kind of look. But
So,
nobody's like drawing weapons, and they're kind of like, yeah. And there's that mix of like wariness, but also like some look quite excited.
Yeah, I was looking for more for like a sense of awe, or
Had no real sense of awe. They seem like, oh, cool. Yeah, like that kind of style of like interest. Like, oh, that's cool, new guys.
they still need to receive the Emperor's light.
Yeah. You get led along like through these streets. Yeah, very, very primitive town. So like things are quite open. Yeah, all the people wear like similar styles. As you go inside, there's like less clothing. It seems like the ones outside wearing kind of like armor. And actually, it's, like, they're still like fairly bundled, as like the air is quite abrasive. It's like a lot of like cloaks and like long clothes, fairly baggy though because it is reasonably hot. Yeah, all of them have this like darker, leathery like skin. Yeah,
I
you got
see.
led around. You can like points out things to you, like kind of giving you the tour as you go, telling you like where everything is. And very broken, low gothic.
Oh, I see. And where is the escalator?
I do not be knowing what this escalator is.
I'm sorry, what?
I've seen records of that word in the records, but nothing of what an escalator is. Is to the being.
Okay, and where are the security cameras?
We do not be having the cameras.
What do you mean you don't have
We
cameras?
be having the chickens, though. I can show you the chickens if you want. The chickens be very friendly.
What are chickens?
They're these little creatures that we eat. That we
Wait,
be
you
doing the eating of.
You mean you don't eat nutrient paste?
Like, look-see and so like, not be knowing what the nutrient means, but paste we be eating.
Malachi raises his hand. Do these chickens have tentacles or more than 2 eyes?
Oh, they be having the 3 eyes.
Take me to these chickens.
It is along the way. I can show you the pen for the chickens. Yeah, you know. lead you
Holt's
along-
just kind of like has like this like what the fuck look is like. You mean they don't just push a button and they get food? What do you
Sorry, what you saying?
what do you mean they cook food?
I can be doing the showing of you. Can show you at the feast.
Uh-huh.
But come and be doing the seeing of the chickens. It is quite fascinating.
Uh,
Oh,
And so, and he kind of like squints like, oh, be that one be doing the seeing? And he points at Malachi.
He can see just fine.
Yeah, that is the strangeness, but I will not judge. Lead you along like, down a couple like smaller like streets, which aren't really streets, just like more hard packed ground for people walking in that direction, and the spaces between the buildings. Just lead you along. After you come up to this like, this like fenced in area of the typical like waist high like fence, and you see all of these creatures kind of running around in it. And despite saying chickens, and some of you knowing what a chicken might be, really having at least heard stories of the ancient chickens of Terra, these things are not chickens. They look like about knee high, like almost like velociraptors. Like green skinned like lizards with like long tails. Yeah, they got these 3 eyes, one on each side, one on the top. And then like the end of their head can turn to these snouts with like almost like the end of like a drill bit inside. That like the 3-sided drill thing for going through walls.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are to the being of the chickens.
Yeah, Zach, with Forbidden Lore Warp, upon looking at these, would I know if these are like natural beings or if they're like plagued with mutations via Chaos Taint?
Nothing about them would immediately speak of like massive mutations, because like
I have a Forbidden Lore.
like, tiny creatures have 3 eyes, like weird mouths, but creatures have weird mouths. Like you could spend some time like fully like scan them with your brain. Just
Zach, I have Forbidden Lore mutants. Could I be able to tell more?
Yeah, if you want to like spend a bit and like examine them, kind of.
Malachi and Sator pick up this chicken, just inspecting it.
Oh, like do you guys actually go up to like properly investigate them?
Maluka and Sator go in the chicken then and look at them.
It's like there's a fence. There's one of those like, God, what is it? It's like the lever thing that goes down and holds it closed. You can just lift it up. There's no lock on it.
Yep.
Malachi will turn over to the elder and just say, "We will be one moment," and begins walking over to the chicken.
As you approach, what are you guys wearing?
Blindfold, pretty much the same.
Like actual clothes. Yeah.
Like armor and all that.
Oh.
Do you guys have any armor on?
I got Enforcer Light.
Normal armor, basically.
What is the normal armor? Do you have like
Yeah.
You got?
It's the Xeno Mesh armor.
Yeah, so as you go approach, it's like, oh, be not to be entering within the metal. They be doing the eating of. I be showing, and he kind of goes over and like opens up this box, takes out this like almost like a sheet of aluminum, and just tosses it in. And you see the chickens all turn, run over to it, and like they see plop their mouths on it, and there's this horrible grinding, like chewing sound. And as they move off, like they've made holes in the metal.
Huh. No
and
wonder
very quickly the sheet just vanishes under the
no
horde.
wonder they are so
Interesting.
technologically inept. Anyway,
Hey,
would
you like
Xenomesh
those
be considered
bugs?
metal?
Yeah, Xenomesh is a metal. It's like kind of like of a really advanced alloy, but it's still essentially chain.
Oh boy.
Interesting. That could be useful.
Yes, they be being very useful. Maybe making our food.
You eat these creatures that eat metal.
Yes, we also eat of their. We also be eating of their paste.
Their paste.
I'm not knowing the words properly. Can show at feast. Is very good.
Yeah, I'm bored. Gizmek reaches in to pick up one of the chickens.
Come on.
You just like lean over the fence and pick one up.
Yeah, basically.
He's covered in armor.
The thing is carapace metal? I think it is.
It would be metal, but he's picking it up by like the back of the neck.
I'm gonna put my nobility.
Yeah,
roll-
large
roll.
rigid piece of armor, plus or ceramite, which is close enough to armor that these things are trying to eat it. Yeah, so you're picking it up by the back, and it's like they got like decently long necks. It's like trying to reach around, like seemingly trying to like bite at the fingers. But it's not like struggling or anything. It's just like, oh, there's food on this. It's trying to get at your arm. It doesn't like struggle to get out of your grip or anything. It's just trying to get at your arm.
So you said you eat
Maybe
these
it's
things,
very
right?
Docile, but always being the hungry.
You eat these things, right?
Yes, when they be getting old, we be doing the eating of them. Yes, but normally just adjusting the pace.
How old's this one?
That one be being the 3 cycles.
Is that old?
Not particularly, no.
Whatever. Tosses it back in the cage.
You drop it back in, it kind of like stumbles, and like the legs collapse under it, and it gets back up and continues running around.
Where's an old one?
Yeah, they're all like very energetic, they're all running around the places. So, oh, the old one's having been grabbed already for the feast.
Alright. Where's your
We'll be
pace?
being many of them during the feast. We'll be taking short time, then can go.
Yeah, whatever.
Do you wish
I'm
to
bored.
look in your
Let's go.
more, or want to go and sit?
So, are you? Who is the governor of this planet?
Be not sure what the planet is.
This place, this, and I gesture like try and gesture to like the entirety of like
Leader of the
Australia.
goblins being the me.
Yes, but is there someone above who? Is there someone who leads the goblins?
That'd be being the me.
I mean, like leads. Is there like another settlement?
Is there a bigger war boss than you?
That'd be being the kobolds over that way. And it just points like north.
Goblins, kobolds.
Yes, we founding stories when we came here and took up names.
Stories.
And how many of these settlements are there?
Nearby there is 10. 10 thinking. Not sure. One might have died.
Hmm.
Oh, they'll also be being the wood elves. But we do not talk with them.
Why do you not talk with the wood elves?
Oh, because they be doing the kidnapping.
And
They
what's
be
they?
taking and torturing for food.
So they eat people.
Not the eating, no, just the torturing.
Torture.
Causing pain they seem to enjoy and need. It's strange, but they there.
Do they have?
Last time people helped. Used to be more. Now they just have spears.
Do they
Much
have?
easier, but still danger.
Do they have long ears?
Yes, they be being very tall with the big ears.
Pale
That is why they
skin?
be
Oi,
being
no
so-
fish! Let's go get him!
Oh, they be being dangerous.
Yeah, and Gizmek starts whirring his axe.
But before you going and be doing the helping for us, let us give you the feast first.
Oh yeah, food. That's good.
Oh boy,
What?
that's gonna be fun.
What is the reason of this feast? Is my question.
Oh, the sky people be coming. Last time the sky people, the wood elves, went away for time, then came back, but not as many, and less good. So we be liking the sky people. Has been many times since last sky people came.
Captain, it appears they have a prophecy.
Hmm. When was the last time these sky people came to you?
We not be sure, but I was being little then. Was he like kind of gestures at a height of like about his or about like you'd say like a 3-year-old human. Was me being about this tall.
I see. And what did the sky people do here besides help you with your
And the
wood elf
unsure.
problem?
They came, asked us where the wood elves be, and then left, and then wood elves stopped. But then came again, but not many, and with spears now, not what would they call them? Oh no, they have muskets. And not be having the guns.
I see.
So they did the great help for us, and we like the Sky Peoples. But yes, come, let us not talk in front of chickens. Chickens be loud. We can go inside and await feast.
Orange can be louder than chickens!
What'd you say, sorry?
You can be louder than chickens.
Yes, there is no need to be doing the shouting. We can go inside. We're much comfy, yes.
Okay.
I don't know what to do anymore.
Let's go to the feast.
My brain is fried.
Okay. Yes. But do you have any alcohol here?
Not me being sure what alcohol be is.
It's just stuff that makes you feel all weirdy and goodsy.
Oh, be having the berry juice, yes.
Great. I'll have some if you don't mind.
We'll be at feast. Can I have some while wait, yes. Please, come with. Lead you along. They lead you along into this, like, it's like the largest building here, but that is not saying much. Kind of like, you've seen Skyrim, kind of like the Companions building, that thing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like the size of that boat, but not actually made of a boat. It's just all wood. It's about that size. Yeah. It leads you into all these tables. Can be doing the waiting of here. Food will be brought in when done. The gym is like, yeah, nice fire pit in the middle.
Just have an open flame.
It's in like a pit and like stones around it. Like, oh yes, is to be being the safe. Is to be watched.
You have to watch your own heat source.
Yes, to be making sure it not burn. Well, not burn building. Can burn in hole, not in building.
Holtz just kind of like stares at the fire.
Oh, do not be looking for too long. Will hurt eyes.
What is this madland?
Oh, he's a little pretty boy out of his element a bit here. Hey, give me some more meat.
It's like, well, be doing the sitting. We'll get the berry water. The berry juice. Yeah, do you all take a seat?
Yeah, because Mike plops down in a chair, and I'm assuming these chairs are not made for somebody of his weight.
What would you roll to see if you broke the chair?
Strength.
I guess roll an agility to see if you were careful enough with sitting down that you didn't.
Yeah, probably that.
Yeah, you like sat down. Yeah. You
Barely.
go to sit down, and then kind of realize, like, as you're starting, it's like, oh, it's gonna crack, and you lower yourself in a bit slower, and like it creaks and groans, and it's definitely not made to hold somebody of your size, but it's managing.
Somehow.
Zach, well, Malachi he sits down. Would it be all right if he kind of meditated and pondered to? He's going to sniff through the Immaterium to see if there's any undergoings or things beyond what we see.
You can roll Cynician.
Yeah, I was about to do that too.
Minus 30, yeah.
So I rolled. So I'll also roll in the meanwhile.
You're gonna look through with your third eye, and
Yep.
yeah, not really, Matt. No sign of like massive warp activity, like, aside from the general stuff and maybe slightly lower background warp stuff, because it's fairly close to a fairly unstable space of warp. But other than that,
So yeah, the usual.
Nothing unexpected.
I wonder if this planet even has psychers.
look, I think you would know that it's like a 1 in 1,000 for someone to be a psyker. So everywhere has psykers.
No, I thought it was a 1 in a million.
1 in a million.
I thought it was 1 in 1,000.
It's worse than that. It's a more minority than you think.
Hey,
The fact that
Warhammer
they-
numbers, who gives a shit?
I'll look it up, but you guys go on ahead.
Something like that.
Haltz just like kind of uncomfortably sits in the chair, like trying not to look at the fire because apparently it'll hurt his eyes, but like also like trying to make sure that the fire doesn't burn the place down.
Yeah, you see like every now and then like somebody comes out and like pokes at some rocks, like throws a small bit of wood in.
Why is he doing that?
He's stoking the flames, keeping it lit.
You mean it just turns off by itself?
Yeah, after a while, Hooch! Hey, Malachi, give me a moment. Let me explain to the captain a little bit.
I like how he wasn't saying anything.
I know. Gizmek does this anyway. He just turns to Malachi, just like, yeah, just hold up a moment. Let me explain. All right, Hooch, let me give you the lowdown. This is called a fire, all right?
All right.
We use these to cook meats, right?
Wait, you cook things on this?
Yeah, when you get things and you cut them up and they taste good, but you want a different kind of good, you cut them up and then you put them on a fire. Now, fire is made out of things that burns is. You know, things that burns is like woods is, right?
I've set things on fire, yes.
Yeah. And you know that eventually if you set things on fire, it stops being a fire after a while if you wait long enough, right?
Yes.
That's called the combustion getting bored, right?
It gets bored. That's why it turns off.
Yeah, so what they're doing is they're coming out and they're poking it to get all riled up again.
I see.
I love fire being explained to the human by the orc. Something that humanity discovered like over 40,000 years ago. You need explaining.
He's so out of touch, man. It makes sense.
Yeah. I like it. It just seems really dumb, but it's fun. After a few minutes, Gary comes back and it's like, yeah, small tray with these like clay jugs on it. Oh, be having the berry juice. Like, sets the tray down on the tables in front of you. Please be doing the enjoying.
Gizmek grabs one immediately and chugs the entire thing.
Yeah, it tastes
Haltz
pretty,
waits
like,
for
kind of
someone. Haltz waits for someone who isn't Gizmek to try and take a drink before he takes a sip.
Say it or
It tastes like wine, but like it's got a bit of pulp in it. It's like pulpy wine.
Yeah, say it also start to drink it.
Yeah, pulpy, like low quality but strongish wine.
Zach, is there anybody else at the table, or is it just Gary as well as us?
It's just Gary and a few people that come in every now and then, can like either like messing with the fire or like checking on things and all that.
Any form of like higher, like do they have like, is there like some sort of form of like nicer clothing, or are they all just like rags?
Everybody wears. It's not like rags. It's just like it's like worn down a bit. Like they can't change their clothing every day or something. Like they probably wear these clothes for like a week or more at a time.
So like tunics, maybe?
Kind of. So yeah, it's that kind of style of it. Yeah, long like covers almost all of the body. It's fairly baggy because it is warm.
Like a nobility cast, or is it? Or are they like? Is it more egalitarian?
No real sign of like any real difference in quality. Yeah, from like the soldiers outside to like Gary and the random people, like it looks very similar. Maybe some slight differences, but it'd be hard to tell.
So very little hierarchy or established
Nobody
hierarchy.
can really see. Yeah, nothing that can be spotted from right now. There might be some, but it's hard to tell from the outside.
Interesting.
So Gary,
Yes.
I mean, I'm assuming that our captain of the Sky People wishes to go ahead and give you more information, but have you had any interesting people around here? People that could do things you couldn't really understand how?
Oh yes, we be having these sorcerers. They tend to go boom. So we send them to the Wood Elves.
Wait, hold on a minute, Malachi. Like begins like actually tentatively hearing. What do these sorcerers look like?
They be looking like people, but they be making fire and ice and things from their hands. But they often go boom, so we send them to wood elves. Well, when they come, they rare.
Well, do any of them have, well, do you have any in this village? Or do you just always send them up?
A child, he be getting the training. We send them to fight the wood elf.
Would it be all right if I were to see this child afterwards?
This can be showing the sorcerer, but be careful. There is danger.
I am, well, a sorcerer myself.
Oh, he takes a step back. Do you be doing the exploding?
No, I am blessed by a higher power. And Malachi, he will reveal his eyes to show like psychic radiant energy. That is why I wear the blindfold.
He like steps back again, and they're like, "Oh shit!" Wow, the sky people were being strange.
Yes.
This kid threw me across the room with his mind. He's strong.
Can show you the sorcerer once the feast is done. I could bring sorcerer if wanted, but would need to stay back.
No. It is fine. I will hopefully have a private meeting with him. Holtz, if you wish to continue and have your discussion about, well,
If you be
diplomacy.
having the question, I can be doing the answer.
Who would know more about the last time the Sky People came? The most, even.
Be thinking the kobold leader was older, might have met them himself, not sure. But I know most of history. I is elder, is what I do. It's what I be the doing.
And tell me about this place's history.
Yeah, you kind of like go down and basically like pretty much like give you the whole rundown of the place, which is not really that interesting. Like
I mean,
a couple things of like a few like skirmishes and like small fights with like the kobolds and the hobgoblins over like various like small areas of territory, or like one of them robbed something so they went to get it back. But that's like small things. Like never really seems like more than like a couple dozen people like fought in anything. Like very small scale wars.
so
Then things like before his time, they dealt with these like almost constant attacks by the wood elves, who would come in with these like large heads and these like big bulky like metal, and come in with these really advanced guns, and would basically just come in, like basically smash the doors in, take like dozens of people, and then disappear again.
And I was looking more for like, obviously Holtz is looking more for like anything that would involve space travel, but like he curious, like he's somewhat curious. Do they have any form of religion? Or do they just like not really give a shit?
Thinking they would have some kind. Just trying to think, what would they actually worship here? This is something I did not think about, weirdly.
They would worship poor grammar.
I think that like he would like tell you about it, and it would definitely have like a very like bastardized version of emperor worship. Like they're not doing it right, but they have the general idea. Like big gold man that helped humans.
Yes, that is the God Emperor.
Oh, we'd be calling him Gold. We'd be calling him Gold Dad.
Gold Daddy. They worship the Gold Daddy.
Malachi would,
He'd be in the sky.
Malachi would go ahead and actually speak up at this. A fraction of the gold debt. A fraction. I was given a fraction of his power. That's how I am able to control it so well.
Oh, your eyes be the much colder than the Big Daddy, and he points up. Seemingly out like the sun or the star, really.
Oh no, not the star. The God Emperor of mankind sits upon the golden throne of Holy Terror itself.
Yes, and he be making the light and heat to thee save us.
The light of the God Emperor is far grander than that simple star. You can see it from half the galaxy away.
Yes, we be the seeing it. Points up again.
No. The God Emperor's light is much brighter than that.
But looking at it makes you blind. Why would need be brighter?
They can't hear me talking about an actual, like, get in a chair or something. Not some, like, rock in the sky that shines bright.
Gizmek is the logical one here.
It does make why is that one so being the green?
Why is an orc?
What is orc? No, wait, have stories of orc. Orc be another tribe.
What?
Boy.
There are orcs here!
Oh, called the orcs, but they not be green.
Oh, I can't smash some other gits.
Not be knowing what the git is.
Or you say in the human speak, a git is another idiot that you want to crump.
Oh, they be nice, actually. They'd be quite nice. They share stuff with us every now and then.
What? I need to go teach those kids a lesson.
Yes, they have many chickens.
Oh,
God damn it.
Gizmek's
That's so
going to go to
good.
the orc. Gizmek's gonna fucking go to the orc tribe and
It's not even going to be real orcs, it's just going to be humans with the orc name.
Yep.
I'm going to go. I can't wait until we find the orc tribe and they're like the fucking hippiest motherfucker possible.
And Gizmek's
Bonus
gonna-
points. They're also actually orcs.
There you go, there you go.
They're also actually orcs, but their
They're not
fungus is
even
blue.
green.
Oh god, Gizmek's gonna make them follow him.
So are these orcs spelled with a C or a K?
What be being a K?
Ah,
Do they spell the names right or not?
We do not spell into this language. This be a language that I know from the records. Others do not be being the speaking. Only the elders.
where are these? May I see these records?
Oh yes, can be showing you to them after feast. Feast almost done now.
Oh yeah. Where's get more to me?
Yes, we'll need to be going to getting the other guests. You be doing the waiting.
Well, I guess. Wait, what?
You be the waiting while I get the guests, and then food will come.
Gizmek looks around, just like, yeah, whatever. She grabs another thing of the berry juice and chugs it down.
Who are these other guests?
Oh, other notable people in town. We'd be having the blacksmith, the hunter, the chicken farmer. Starts listing off like a bunch. Like a bunch of like important roles for a town.
Bunch of important
Holt
tradesmen.
just
or
kind of
something.
like pretends to listen, but otherwise like kind of goes back to cautiously staring at the fire. And he still doesn't quite.
Yeah, Gary heads out, and after a bit, you start to see like other people start filing in. A mix of like men and women all filing in and just taking their seats. Well, I'm like
What does the
looking
blacksmith
at you
look
with
like?
it's like basically curiosity. That's like, oh, hey, cool, the sky people.
What does the
Yeah, and
blacksmith
like
look
none of
like?
them like in awe. It's like, oh, that's cool. We got the sky people in. Yeah, they all get sitting down, like not coming to sit next to you, can like sat like around the other places. It's like giving you some space.
Which one of them
Definitely
is the
speak.
blacksmith?
I think you would definitely recognize the blacksmith as this. Yeah, it's like this much like larger and like stronger woman than everybody else that you've seen. It's, like,
Woman?
built
Yeah.
like a wall.
Gizmek points at her, just like, "You shit over here! You look nice, strong."
She like looks at you and it's like turns to the person next to her. It is like very skinny one with like what look like books in this like small bag. And it's like kind of talk back and forth in that thing. And it's kind of like looking at you with that like critical look of I don't know what he's saying. Like you could probably make out the like you might be able to understand the words. He's like, do you know what he's saying? I got no fucking clue. Oh, you speak language? No, I don't.
Gizmek turns to the elder and just like, "Hey, tell the blacksmith lady to come over here."
Okay, I be the doing. And he goes over and talks to her on that, and then she kind of like looks a bit confused and then comes up, walks over.
Gizmek just sort of like
stood next to you and is like, it's like looking a bit like unsure what the hell she's doing.
Gizmek just like sort of motions to sit down.
She like nods and sits down in the chair that you motioned to.
Then Gizmek holds out an arm and like motions to do an arm wrestling match.
She like looks at the arm, looks up to you, and looks very confused. Like
Gizmek turns to the elder and Gizmek turns to the elder and just says, "You guys know what arm wrestling is?
We be knowing the wrestling, yes.
You know what arm wrestling is?
Whipping your arms, yes.
I believe Gizmek wishes to arm wrestle your blacksmith.
Yes, be wrestling with arms, but can't be wrestling inside.
No.
All in the fire.
Malachi, come here.
Yes, Captain.
For the sake of demonstration, arm wrestle me.
All right. Malachi will go ahead and place it down.
Yeah, Holtz basically has like a dead fish, and explains the concepts to the rules. Explains the concepts of the rules to the elder, to Gary, and says the winner is the one who pushes the other person's hand down on the table.
Okay, I've been doing the telling. And he turns and talks to the blacksmith. She like looks confused, puts her hand on the table. And I think they're like, okay.
There we go. Gizmek gets a good grip.
Gizmek just grabbed a random person, just said, "Wrestle me."
Yeah.
Roll a strength. See how well you do.
And before I roll absolute shit, I rolled absolute shit. I rolled a 99.
Yeah,
Nice.
You rolled 99. Yeah, she succeeded by 1. Not 1 degree, by 1.
She throws Gizmek off the table.
Yeah, it's still a struggle because she does still have a higher strength. But yeah, it's like starts just like slowly pushing him down and like looking like, okay, why am I winning this? He looks a lot bigger, and then gets your hand down, and it's like takes the hand away and is like thumbs up.
Gizmek smiles. She's like, "These one's a good one. You got some capers here, Gary. Geary. Gotta come up with a new one for that."
Well, yes, we be doing the keeping of her. She be being the blacksmith. She be making the guns.
Hey, it's one of them Yumi turn of phrases. It means she does a good job.
Okay, I will be doing the telling. And he turns to her and says that, and she like nods. And he says to him, she be saying the thanks. Now I need to go and be getting the more guests.
Okay. Gizmek gets
Leaves
another
again.
thing of wine and drinks it.
You
That's
guys
the end of the arm wrestling
very
endeavors.
confused looking blacksmith woman.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Literally,
It's
just
like,
Gizmek
yeah.
sees the only person in the room with any hint of muscle. It's just like arm wrestling now.
Oh god, you know what? After Sator is getting quite drunk enough, he's like, "Gizmek!"
Yeah.
And he puts his left hand on the table.
His left right hand on the table.
It's left.
Yep.
All right, square up, you git. Let's go.
Right, so you're going to roll strength. Say also you can have a plus 30 for 1 fatigue.
Sure.
And you just like activate the arm.
Why am I rolled 2 99s?
I'm glad you're getting these rolls out of the way now.
This is all because I swear this berry wine is fucking with him.
Because it goes down, it's like, you kind of like, skinny little Sator. You're like, yeah, you put that down. And then probably realize too, like, oh wait, he has the big arm. It's just slammed into the table, like putting a dent in it.
We can repair that.
Yeah, and as that happens, Sator kind of gets shocked up the arm, like jerks it like he's been tased. You take one fatigue from the feedback of that.
Without the plus 30, you would have failed by 3.1 degrees, and you would have
You
almost.
would have won without it.
You would have won without
Yeah,
the fatigue.
Because
I'm rolling natural 99s every time. Why?
Yeah, it's kind of like arm wrestling normally, and then you activate it, and it just straight down.
Malachi asks Holtz. So, as like, watching the arm wrestling going on. So, what sort of plans do we have here? Do we need to take care of those wood elves for them, or?
I don't think we need to go that far. Although I am somewhat concerned. There could be. Zach, can I roll Forbidden Lore Xenos to see, apparently they kidnap and torture people?
Yeah, you can roll it. You can recognize what that sounds like.
I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that I don't have an idea of.
But it's not a big leap.
I apparently have -5 because I'm not in a proper hab, so this is only plus 25. And I only have 37 int, so it's
Natural
basically,
99.
Yeah,
Still,
62.
yeah, still a good shot.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, this definitely sounds like Dark Eldar. And I would say from that, since he said they would come here with armor, and then the Sky people came down, went in the forest, and then they stopped coming in with armor and not as many. I said with Floyd, say maybe there was a webway gate, and then he broke it, and that's why they stopped coming so much, because they just couldn't get here normally anymore. Would probably be I guess, but that would be a stretch because it tend to be able to sense those from orbit. But I guess if it's broken, maybe not. Definitely seems interesting.
It seems this planet is inhabited with Dark Eldar.
And yeah, I will also say with nearly 5 degrees, that if there was a webway gate here, let's say, when these guys got dropped off here originally, the Imperium should have been able to detect it. If it's active, there should be ways to detect it.
I don't know how the Dark Eldar got here. If it was a webway gate, the Imperium should have been able to detect it when they dropped off these criminals. But either they didn't or they ignored it.
Aren't Eldar supposedly known for their stealth technology?
A webway gate's a lot harder to hide, Malachi.
Yeah, the easiest way they could have hit it is just paint it purple.
Gizmek says that while arm wrestling.
Oh god.
Regardless, there's probably a Dark Eldar infestation here. Do not Malachi, I'm not sure how much you know about the Eldar, but do not mistake the average Corsair for the insidiousness of the Dark Eldar. Daltier's explained some of the differences in their kind. The Corsairs, at their worst, are profiteers, that warmongers, but they simply kill and take what's theirs. Dark Eldar, they take their prisoners alive and torture them, and use the psychic energies to stave off of their kind's inherent doom.
Yes, I remember the finding tomes about the birth of Slanesh. Eldar played quite a part of that.
That is a lie.
Really?
You did not find anything mentioning Slanesh. You could have think the fall of the Eldar, but I don't think would have mentioned Slanesh, just like chaos. There'll be general terms, but out of character, you know what it means. In character, be oh yeah, they're the entities in the warp like to eat them, kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, you don't know names, but you would know the stories.
Well,
Big difference between the two.
well, I'm wondering if This child is supposed to be sent in there as a sort of suicide run. If he's an attempted psyker. Well,
Send them in there to explode.
yes. Overloading them with psychic phenomenon could also be exposing demons onto this planet.
Also likely.
I'd say that, Malachi, you would also know that demons can't really stick around for long on their own.
I know they possess people, so I'm just saying there's a possibility.
With the psychically, like if there are Drukhari on this planet, they're psychics. They could probably inhabit a demon.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if someone is even possessed by a demon, I'm pretty sure that we would be able to detect it via signitions.
We didn't get in a good enough roll, though. That's the thing. I can see that.
I rolled and I didn't feel anything different at all, so it should be fine.
Well, like I said, there are degrees of success.
Yeah.
It also may not be here, but it may be somewhere else on the planet.
Yeah, like the further away something is, the harder it is to detect.
Yeah, that's what kind of. At least there's nothing here.
Yeah.
Other than, the signition.
Yeah, I'd say with the success, like if there was like a demon host in this town, unless it was really good at hiding, you would have noticed.
Yeah.
Well,
It's not impossible, but highly unlikely that there's one in this town.
Be a pretty smart demon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not many demons are hiding around. for decades.
Bullshit.
so how do we end up gain the Imperium to retake this planet then?
Those chickens have a very interesting quality. I can drill straight through metal. Don't you think that'd be rather useful?
Are you thinking what I'm thinking for the Imperium Navy?
Indeed.
Yeah, chicken launches!
So what are you thinking for that? I want to know what the plan is for that.
We've experienced we in our travels we've experienced what we're talking about, Zach.
But remember, ships are made out of metal. So
Well, at the same time, what else is made out of metal?
The anime ships.
but how would you get them there without them just eating their way out?
Not only that, but also Necrons.
I was
Yeah.
I was also just thinking, they'd be useful for drilling through holes and making ships, like taking them to a forge world, telling them that they'll eat any metal, which might be useful for something.
You need to make us very specific room, either at the very least cover the metal with something of the ship.
Which would bring them back into the Imperium's fold as, they'd have a specific trade route.
Mm-hmm.
That would be Holt's line of reasoning there.
Yeah, it's certainly something you could go by because there's no significant amount of natural resources on the planet. The Imperium wouldn't care. The number of people wouldn't really be worth the effort of getting them. But the chickens, maybe. If there's a webway portal, the Mechanicum would likely be interested in that. It's very hard to get those things intact. Yeah,
If it even
there's
feels
a few things that you might be able to get the Imperium interested in.
Hey, she's the food.
The point of a rogue trader is to find shit like this.
yeah.
And here I am doing my job.
Yeah, they're already doing
Wow,
their
you're
job.
totally doing your job, and that's entirely the point of why we're here, not some ulterior motive.
Gizmek.
Gizmek.
Oh, there's an ulterior motive. It's just
Oh, no, there's no ulterior motive whatsoever.
So after the feast, we have the psychic child, and then we'll decide where to go, I guess.
yeah. How does
So around this point, Gary comes back in as the last person who goes in and sits down. You see aside from the blacksmith, there's a small bubble around you, just for giving you space. They don't seem they're shuffling away. They didn't move chairs to be away. They're just kind of taking seats that are a bit of space away from you. Yeah, except for the blacksmith lady, who's there looking very confused, as she has no idea what any of you are saying. But he picks a word here and there. Probably hits Eldar. Is oh, elf.
What would be the role for? Would it be logic if Malachi to detect the reason that they're kind of making a bubble of us? Not only because they're giving us, privacy and, the respect that, it would make sense. But also that Malachi told him that he was a sorcerer.
I'd say that again.
I mean-
you probably wouldn't even really need to roll. It's like, it's probably a mix of sorcerer who might explode, a bunch of big scary people with weapons, and we have no idea what they're saying anyway. So what's the point of sitting next to them? Let's sit over here and talk to ourselves.
Is used to this kind of treatment. He's above everyone.
Yeah, because like if you like go to a party, there's like a bunch of people like speaking a different language. You're not going to go and sit next to them because you're not going to be able to understand anything anyway.
It's the brave ones that do, though. The brave ones that become the NPCs that we adopt.
Yeah, and Gary kind of brings in the last person, and he comes over and he says, "Okay, we'll be starting the feast now." He steps up and sits, like, basically does a speech in the language that you don't know. You like catch a word here and there. Then he claps his hand, and doors on either side open, and people start coming through with all of these trays of various things. You see things that would definitely be like have like very much like the shape of the chickens. So certainly a few of the roast chickens. There's like berries. There's some weird like kind of roots, and quite a lot. It's like they can like come out and bring those, start setting them up like in like the middle, not like on the fire, but like on tables around it. Kind of like almost like setting up like a buffet. And then before that's all finished, walk them through with these like small bowls with this like brownish greenish paste. And so it's like handing one of those to everybody.
Holt's kind of like leans back. I thought you were supposed to throw food onto the fire.
Gizmek, explain to him.
Yeah. The fire would totally help if Gizmek were actually paying attention.
Captain, I think they're doing a traditional thing. I believe it's called baking.
I say all the food does already look cooked. And I say they're all being set up there. It's like, okay, the food is being plopped out here, and then and then everybody's like given these like it's like a normal size kind of bowl with this like brownish greenish paste in it. It's kind of like the texture of like gritty ice cream. It's a bit warm. It's a bit of actually probably like more like porridge. I guess like somewhere between ice cream and porridge, but like a brownish greenish.
Do they have silverware? Or
not
like tableware?
Yeah, it's like wooden wooden spoons as well.
Is this the paste that they were referring to?
Yes, that being the paste from the chickens. You see, like everybody else, like all the others, start like digging into their paste.
Bottoms up! Gizmek doesn't even bother with the spoon, he just lifts up the bowl to his mouth.
Yeah, really good.
I'm gonna.
I wait for Sator and Malachi to eat.
Yeah, I'm
Let's
gonna
see how
try.
they.
So kind of like the closest like description for the taste would be like a beef oatmeal, which would probably like the closest thing that you could describe to what it tastes like. But like pretty good. Like it seems to have some like other flavorings in there. Like almost tastes like it's been seasoned and got sauce and stuff like that. Yeah, surprisingly good. It still feels like eating like oatmeal, so there's not much of like texture to it, but it tastes pretty good considering.
Would it be alright if Malachi roll awareness to... He's basically going to just really be inspecting to see if there's any metal bits like inside of it, considering it came from that metal eating chicken.
Yeah, you can roll your awareness.
Alright. 2.6.
Yeah, but no bits or anything in it aside from it's like quite chunky. It's got the texture of oatmeal, so it's got chunks in it. But yeah, nothing metallic. All of it is soft.
Able to completely digest metal. Nice. Okay, we'll take a bite.
Yeah, very nice.
Both of them take a bite and they haven't dropped dead. Holtz will also tentatively take a bite
Yeah,
and start eating.
everybody else and Gary all digging into their own bowls.
They might have poisoned us. That's paranoia kicking in.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry. I would roll in stuff to tell you if there was something scary.
I'm just
Everything
like it.
seems fine. I'll just sit here and do this for a minute, just to.
Yeah, you know.
I love how both me and Halls have to. You have to roll for both me and Halls.
Yeah, I'll roll that, don't worry.
All right, what's your guys' toughness score again? Just asking. No reason.
Yeah, anybody want to make a toughness test to avoid farting?
Yep.
Or Gizmek lets out the biggest one. Oh wait, to avoid farting, that was the inverse.
Yeah, Gizmek sucks it in and burps instead.
Oh, nice.
You don't actually have to roll. Because he used up all your good rolls on non-needed rolls to not fart.
It's funny. It's funny.
So everybody kind of like eats their paste, and then like more people come out and like set out all of these like fairly large bowls and some extra cutlery that's like forks and knives, and then people sort of like basically pick up their stuff and go out and start like helping themselves like a buffet, getting all the stuff from the middle.
Gizmek sort of like just pushes through a little bit and gets as much like a big old plate of meat.
Yeah, you just go up to one, like, kind of rip off a tail, pull off a head, get a leg.
Probably grabbing all
person's head.
probably grabbing all the parts that nobody actually normally wants from it and just not caring anyway, and just like walks back to his seat, and you're just like
you would
you're
think that
smacking
people are
sound.
like grabbing like basically every bit of this chicken.
Yeah,
Nobody
tribal
is just
society,
left
yeah,
behind.
sounds about right.
Yeah, it's like they're getting the tail, the head, the feet. They're getting all of it.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, like either they like it or they do not waste shit here. Could be both.
Yeah.
Gizmek is just a big old plate of meat. Yeah, so you guys
Okay.
see a bunch of other stuff. There's like a few of those chickens, but more bowls of that paste. Yeah, some like berries, some roots, probably some like other meat that isn't like in a full animal. So you're not entirely sure where that came from.
Is that? Oh, go on ahead. You're fine.
I'm going to have to ask Gary about how the paste is made after.
You can ask him whenever you want. He's there.
From their assholes!
So he's the only one sat near you.
Yeah, Malachi, what do you want to say?
I was going to ask if there were actually any children attending this feast.
No children,
No children. All right.
all adults. Like some of them look like quite young. Like the scholarly looking one that was with the blacksmith when she came in, kind of looks like early 20s probably. Yeah, most of them look like around their 30s or so.
Interesting.
And Gary looks like he's like 70, 80, something like that.
Wow.
So it is somewhat hard to tell the ages though, because they all do have this like very tough, like leathery looking skin.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, for you guys, so
Yeah.
I see you guys like brought rebreathers, and you're taking a puff from that every now and then.
Yes.
And so yeah, the air does not taste good. And so yeah, you can almost like feel like grit when you breathe it in. Yeah, just like every like few minutes you just on the rebreather like Roadhog.
Yep. I wonder how the chickens would react to our spaceship air.
You don't know.
Anyway. Hey, Gary, how do you make this paste?
Oh, the chickens be doing the making. We just be doing the collecting.
Huh. How convenient. Do I even need to roll to know what this is?
I mean, you can assume whatever you want. He hasn't directly said.
Holtz looks at the rest of his paste is like, how exactly do they make this?
They be eating the metal and then they make the paste.
How do they make where does the paste come from?
It comes out of the bat. It's coming out of the bat.
So it's their poop.
Yes, the paste being the other end of their food.
Holtz just kind of pushes the dish away.
More for me!
Gizmek just grabs his bowl.
Zator was going for it, but I grabbed it before him. So he got to grab another.
Holtz has to come to the realization that he ate shit, but he also gets to point out that the rest of the crew ate shit, and he elects to not mention, like, silently agree to himself that no one's mentioning this ever.
Well, everybody here eats shit, apparently. They all quite happily dug into their bowls of paste.
Eat shit, I already did.
Eat shit. Well, thank you. The shit is quite nice. I'm quite liking the paste. Yeah, so you guys gonna do anything during the feast, or are you just gonna eat and
drink.
Holtz will just kind of like observe the crowd. I mean,
Told you I'm going to eat any of the chicken actual meat.
I don't think there's anything like really to notice here. He's just, but like this is more just like him just being Holtz, like seeing like where the hierarchies align. Like, I mean, he's been on a hive road. He's been backstabbed like 100,000 times.
Yeah, I'd say from the watching, like there's no real sign of any like hierarchy. Like, it's hard to make out since you can't understand what they're saying. But they all seem to just like casually use each other's names. There's no real sign of any like forced smiles or laughs or anything like that. It all just seems like they're just all hanging out and having a meal.
Yep, they don't. There doesn't seem to be like a leader or anything, like someone who's like, definitely.
Anyone you would see they give respect to would be like Gary. So he's the only one that they like don't just like come up to and like joke and talk with. And you see they all like move around, mingle, all of that stuff.
Someone will need to be governor of this planet, but that is probably a job for someone who's has more time and more interested in these their resources.
Yeah, and anybody that eats the chicken, it's like it tastes actually a fair bit like chicken. It's like more of a like stringy kind of like more muscle than fat chicken, like more stringy. But other than that, it tastes pretty good. Very well cooked.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything in particular that Holtz wants to do at the feast.
The blacksmith continues just awkwardly eating and not saying anything because she has no idea what any of you say. Probably like talks of Gary a few times.
Assume at some point that Gizmek sort of just like after the arm wrestle, Gizmek sort of just like releases the blacksmith from like sitting next to him. You just wind up one arm wrestle. Sorry.
No worries. I was actually curious about if Malachi's thought sending, if that would be almost like a universal language, kind of like telepathy to people.
Well, let's have a check.
I think it's 169 for psychic powers.
I mean, at the bare minimum, you could probably send like weaker images and like image
pictures.
form. Yeah.
Let us see. It might actually state that you don't need to speak the same language.
Telepathy is committed without a shared language. It suffers a -20 penalty.
Yeah. I think you can communicate, just not perfectly. So you kind of have to use like ideas and images and all that kind of stuff to communicate. But you can get the point across. It works well enough.
Are they actually able to send pictures back, or?
I think so, because I think you can create it two-way.
Yeah. And
specific
Malachi.
power that is telepathic communication techniques like mental bond and mind link and mind scan and all that.
Yeah, I'd say that since you are an astropath, you specialize in message sending. Yeah, you could talk to one person at a time, but you could just telepathically talk with people and get ideas across. Yeah, it would work well enough for like simple communications.
Malachi would actually try and attempt this with the blacksmith. Just like it would be first a waving hand coming from her mind.
Yeah, she kind of like looks around for a second, then looks at you and waves.
And then Malachi will be, I guess the better words, or how would he describe like how are you, or like polite conversation.
I think we should just expedite this and like try and get the basic message across, just like in regular
Yeah.
words.
Yeah, we can just go ahead and have it be Malachi's just technically talking.
Yeah, it's like you're enough path, you're skilled enough that you know what kind of messages to send with that, with images and stuff. But that's how astropaths tend to communicate. You don't use word, you use like ideas and like images and all that stuff. Those don't degrade as much. But words basically just vanish as soon as they go in the warp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you're quite experienced with it and that interpreting it and all that stuff. Yeah, you can basically just talk with the blacksmith if you want.
Yeah, Malachi would psychically ask her like what she makes or what she specializes in.
Yeah, so she makes pretty much everything. She does like weapons, armor. She makes a lot of the musket, although they just call them guns.
Guns, I see. Do they use I'm assuming black powder then? The way she describes them?
Yeah. And yeah, she kind of like shows you images, like kind of shows how the weapons work, and yeah, it's gonna be very primitive, like black powder weapons.
Malachi would also begin, like, since he was actually in military training, he would begin showing the sort of differences in, like, the different weapons that the Imperium has access to. Like, laser weapons, as well as, bolt guns and even auto guns.
Yeah. She definitely seemed quite interested about that stuff, and like the ideas about how all of that would work.
Mm-hmm. And, yeah, we can go ahead and cut over, but yeah, Malachi is just interested in, telling her that.
Yeah.
Seems to relax a fair bit now that she has some way of actually communicating rather than just sat there not sure what's going on.
Also, I'm going to ask Gary one last thing. Gary,
Yes.
how is the elder chosen?
Oh, I be being old.
Is that all?
Yes, not many live to being the old.
Very well then.
And yeah, you can see that, like, from everything else you've seen in the town and all the people here, he's probably like twice the age of most people here.
Yeah. And of course, I'm going to assume that some people, like one or two, are also in the 60, would understand very few of the words we are speaking because they would maybe try to learn it because yeah. If Gary
it's like a very loose thing. It's like the oldest person, they respect that you mentioned it that long and know all that shit, so people kind of listen to you. Like it's not really like an official thing. Like he's not like officially in charge of the town, but people will listen to him, and he tends to do all the diplomacy stuff and all that.
Yeah, because
they only have like many official positions.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you're good at that. You go do that then. So very, very different to how the Imperium works.
Gizmek, do you want to do anything?
At this point, basically, you probably knows that after Gizmek's done eating, he's probably just going to, like, sit there for a little bit, like, pat his stomach, and then after that, he's going to be noticeably antsy and bored.
No, I think that we might go for the Wood Elves probably soon.
Yeah, so if he's like, it's a couple hours as people just, like, take their time, talk, all that stuff. Yeah, eventually, like, the food's gone, things start getting cleared up. That was being the good feast, yes?
Yeah, good food. Yeah.
Would you be having any other of the questions?
I believe Malachi wished to speak with this sorcerer child of yours.
Oh yes, I can be taking you to there.
Wonderful. And
Yeah, let's go.
one last thing. And Malachi, I had the quick question, Zach. All the way back when I grabbed the auto gun from the rat skin, I never gave that back to him. So Malachi still has this auto gun.
Yeah.
Would he be all right?
It's like a basic ass, like it's like an M16 or something.
Yeah,
it's like a normal, like modern day rifle, effectively.
Malachi would like to go ahead and actually walk up to the blacksmith and tap her on the sort of shoulder.
Yeah, she looks up.
Yeah, and Malachi will like sort of bestow this auto gun to her as a form of gift.
Yeah, she like takes it, kind of looks at it, checks it over, seems like quite interested, like starts inspecting it. After it looks up at you and like she's sat down currently, but she like bows as best she can while sat down.
Malachi goes ahead and smiles, and then basically psychically tells her, you know, go ahead and research this as much as you want.
It's a better gun.
It's like he communicates like, my deepest thanks. Like, this is great. Thank you.
That Malachi will begin walking on.
Excited by the prospect of seeing how your guns work.
Seeing
the
how our
gun
guns from years ago work.
Yeah. You'll like that. She should see a bolt pistol.
Yeah, so you're gonna go and see the Sorcerer Kid?
Yeah. Is everybody coming along, or does anybody want to grab records from the guy? Or
I'm gonna come along with Malachi, and on the way there, I will ask him, "Do you want me to suppress this child's power just in case things get wild?"
I will call upon your help when it is required. I'm able to parry some psychic abilities, but if this child is truly unstable, then it would be very best in your interest to, well, help me tame him.
Gary, I'd be very interested in these records that you have.
Well, can it be the showing of both at once?
Very well, take us to the child first.
Gizmek's gonna follow along for the child.
It leads you guys along. So it seems like it's fairly close to this main hall ? Like the feasting room. Yeah, so he leads you around. And a couple other buildings and comes to this one door. Comes to it, knocks, and says something through the door. Older for all the people you've seen. She looks like late 40s or something. Kind of answers the door, and she's got very shamanistic look to her. She's got a staff. She has all these very fancy arcane designs around. And it's a circlet made of vines. And that's a very old shamany look. And they talk for a minute, and then she nods and heads in. It can be to the showing of the sorcerer now.
I will begin approaching confidently.
You lead in, you come into this fairly wide and nice looking room, although there are quite a lot of gort marks along it. You see the wood here is you also see a lot of water around, and the walls seem wet. You can see bits dripping. You see this small, this young child sat in the middle, probably 12 years old.
Is he kind of meditating, or what stance is he in?
Yeah, he's kind of sat there and kind of looking like he's meditating.
Well, I will go ahead. Yeah.
You see the woman kind of approaches, kind of kneels down next to him and says something. He kind of looks up.
Malachi will go ahead and go on.
Trying to find my thing of what this kid looks like. Gotta find it now. So he's fairly raggedy. There's bits soot on him and all that. His hands look not burned, scarred, but there's clearly it's almost burned scars, but not quite. His hands have clearly been close to heat a few times too many. And he kind of looks up and see one eye is milky white. He kind of looks up at you, doesn't say anything.
Malachi will go ahead and get on a knee in front of the child and kind of show him a friendly smile. and he'll go ahead and to kind of show a sort of form of well, kind of like calmness, or what's the better term for it? Sort of like, trying to dispel any fear. He'll go ahead and remove his bandana to show that he is a sorcerer, quote unquote, as well.
Yeah, he looks at the eyes and like, leans backwards. Like, clearly was not expecting that. Yeah, kind of like after a moment when nothing happens, you can lean forward and you're kind of looking at your eyes and he starts like slowly bringing up a hand like he's going to poke them.
Malachi's actually a little bit. I'd actually be a little bit confused how that would work if he pokes.
I mean, has Malachi ever poked himself in the eye?
I mean, I don't
most of the time, so things don't get in them. So you probably aren't sure, right? You probably don't be sure in character what would happen.
Thinks it may not be the best time to be experimenting with it.
Yeah, true. This is an unstable.
Well, look, I get poked in the eye. Someone's a demon.
Child explodes.
Child becomes demon.
Destroy the child.
Malachi will go ahead and he'll go ahead and stop the child's hand right there. Just kind of like hold it calmly and just like kind of waggle a finger.
Yeah, like lowers the hand down when you do that. Like he was like very slowly raising up on like sort of like, could I poke it? Like that kind of, like new thing. I want to touch it.
Malachi, will establish a psychic connection with the child. Man, I'm so glad this does not require a willpower check every time.
Yeah. Yeah, you're skilled enough at it. I'm not going to make you even if you're supposed to in the game.
And Malachi will basically go ahead and ask, how long has it been since you have developed your powers?
It's been... yes, they develop around puberty normally. Been... Oh god, how long is a year here? I need to check for how long he would actually say. This 5... So he says about 5 years, which you'd get to be 2 years and change. So he's about 10 or so. 9 or 10 years old.
You are a very special child. I assume you know this.
Yeah. Like they're just a thing of like the room that he is in and like experience of like fire coming out of his eyes. Say, I know. It's not like a thing of yes, I'm the best. He's like, yeah, I shoot fire. Yes, I'm very weird.
So Malachi, would actually like learn that he uses pyromancy.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely a fire guy.
What do you see your powers as? A blessing? A curse? Are you not sure?
Yes, since it is mental things and you don't speak the same language. Like, there's a mix of both. Of like, everybody says it's a curse and he knows that it's really dangerous, but he's also like... But there's also like a touch of pride of like, I'll get to go and like fight off the Wood Elves.
He's sort of like being unique.
Yeah. That's more of a like thing of like, I'll be able to go and like get rid of some of these Wood Elves from my people. You know, it's like, yeah, it sucks. I'm going to go off and like probably explode at some point, but like I get to help my people not have to deal with these elves so much.
Malachi will go ahead and basically show him the visualization of that. Psychers, a child like him, there's only 1 in a million, like, born. That's the statistics of it.
He isn't really sure how much a million is.
He'll show like him, the child, and then he'll show like the just expanding outward, just a million sort of those children.
So when you like, holy fuck, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like this village is probably like, from the size of it and how many you've seen per building, probably like 2,000 maybe in this settlement. Maybe a bit more, 2,500 maybe.
And Malachi will go ahead and try and visualize for the child, basically saying that for Malachi, he is also one of these special people, but instead of being, unstable or
when he's like, oh, I'm also special people, you get a well, fucking duh. Not quite that like rude, but it's like, well, yes, you're talking to me in my head. I kind of figured.
But then he'll show like that Malachi has sort of this holy aura around him that he got from a kind of like a god-like deity's figure.
Suitably impressed and like in awe of that. The idea of, like a god blessing you.
Malachi, he will go ahead and ask more. Yeah, Golden Daddy. And Malachi will begin, like, he'll also show him, like, images of spaceships as well as, how the world, basically, how big the sort of, world / universe is in, I guess, in comparison to just this tiny world that he kind of grew up all his life.
Yeah, he very quickly loses any kind of ability to understand any of that. He's like, oh, there's other planets. What the fuck?
He's
So he
still
kind of stuck up and doesn't pick up any of the rest of it.
Just like the kid in the fucking like story of the like cave looking at the wall, just like not
Yeah.
able to see anything behind
It's
it.
like
Just
telling an ant of like, oh, it's like there's a gut. It's like telling an ant about like other planets. Like the fuck.
I thought you literally just said telling an ant about a gun. Just like what?
Yeah, that's like, no, that's dumb. Telling an ant about other planets, like, oh, what the fuck? I barely know this planet. What? How can it be that big? Anyways, like, you go on and tell him about all this stuff, and he's just still caught up on, wait, how the fuck are there other planets? Like, I've never even left this village. What the fuck?
Malachi will go ahead and like tell him, like, calm down, my dear, or my psyker, my boy.
My
And,
boy.
Boy.
He will basically go ahead and give the equivalent of, for if this child wishes to get either proper tutorage or, well, for the time being, Malachi is willing to teach him how to get a more stable grip on his powers.
Yeah, he definitely seems like very interested in the idea of being trained by somebody else who's special.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get the idea of like the old woman who's there, like they seem to like get taught, like they have like the idea of the techniques and like how to teach them to not blow up immediately. And like she does her best, but she doesn't really get it.
Yeah. So it's
Like she's telling him like all of these things, and he gets what she means, but it's a lot harder to actually do than she says, and she doesn't get how hard it is. And all that.
I'm assuming she's trying to show like the sort of physical forms that he can do, but in all reality, it's all Malachi would be able to teach him the mental sort of calmness and
Yeah, it's like I know what it's like. I'm just trying to figure out how to actually word that.
It's full of
It's
shit.
like when you're doing like science lessons and that, you're getting all of these like theoretical scenarios. So she's basically trying to teach him quantum physics while he's still working at like 2 + 2, and he's trying to figure that out more.
Yeah, he needs.
She's got like all the advanced shit of what they need to do, but he's got to kind of fill in the blanks of how to get there.
It's not. Yeah, it's not. It's not intelligence. It's wisdom, almost in a
Yeah.
sense.
It's also like she has no idea what she's actually talking about. So she knows the answers to the questions, but she doesn't know how you get there. Like,
Show your work.
Yeah, she's like telling him like show your work, but she has no idea what work he should be showing. So it's very hard to teach somebody how to psychic when you can't psychic.
Yeah, Malachi would. He would actually offer to. He would look to the group and say, "If you guys wouldn't mind, would it be all right if I brought this child with me to
Okay.
teach him along the way?"
Oh, needing to be careful with the sorcerer. He might be doing the boom.
Oh, trust me,
He has done the boom twice.
I'm able to
You
go.
know, just all of the like scorch marks.
Trust me, I know how to tame such a I can know how to prevent the boom.
Wouldn't the proper thing to do be to report him so the black ships can come by and take him? I mean,
Yes,
he's
but
technically an
yeah.
unsanctioned psyker.
But here's
Yes.
the thing. That's the legal way. However, Malachi going through the system itself knows, all right, if this guy doesn't have his proper powers like stabilize train to show the black ship, he's going right into Emps's belly.
Yeah, 90% chance he just gets fed to Emps. Like,
He is-
other 9.999% chance he just gets taught how to shoot the fire gun and then shipped off to join the guard.
Yeah.
Yes. Psychers do not get to just live fun lives, they get sent off to... Okay, Heroes like, you go and do this until you explode. I don't care, go do the thing. Psychers are just
I mean, like, from Holtz's perspective, like,
that's how it do.
yeah, that's just like 1,000 psychers need to be fed to the Emperor. Like,
Well, Malachi, at least having a somewhat personal connection with this child, not hoping to try and change a life, is going to try and teach him, like, how to better stabilize it. So if he does get black shipped, he might be able to get spanked.
Yeah, like, I don't know, that would be like a similar level of like being unsure how to teach it yourself. Like, you went through the training, but like you weren't actually taught like how to teach somebody else. So like, it wouldn't be easy for you still. It'd be easier than this lady because you actually know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But like you never actually learned how to teach somebody. You just went through learning.
He does have common lore Astro. I think that's Astro Telepathica, which is Psyker School.
Yeah, that'd be like knowing about the schools and that. It's not knowing how to teach.
so Holtz says, if you wish to bring him aboard, he's your responsibility.
Oh, I'm not talking about bringing him aboard the ship. I'm talking about having him come with us, just along for the journey, so that way I'm able to teach him as we go.
Oh, in that case, fine. Yeah, no, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, let's bring him along to Crumpetgate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a better idea. It's like you're a mathematician, not a math teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know all the science, you just don't know how to like dumb it down properly and all that.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, Malachi would even be willing to show like some psychic techniques of his own to help sort of get a
Definitely easier than with the lady who doesn't know how to psychic at all and just heard stories about how to do it from her predecessor.
So yeah, Malachi would be asked like this child if he wishes to come with, and as for the time that he's here, like possibly learn from him.
Yeah, he'd be very happy with that. He's just don't be a thing of like a warning of like probably stay like a few meters away in case I do explode.
Malachi will go ahead and kind of signal, showing the picture of Sator as well as Malachi kind of like canceling the boom over him. Just showing we know how to control the boom.
Very interesting. I very much likes the idea that you guys can stop him from booming. I did it very painful, not a fun experience.
Boomer.
Yeah, you hear boomer.
Does he have a name actually?
Not in low gothic.
I'm sorry, Zach. I'm just
You name him.
Yeah, do you want to name him? Because yeah, like he would have a name, but it would be like a very like guttural, like barking sound. Because like that's what the language is.
let's go ahead and name him. Let's name him Toph. There you go.
You're calling him Toph.
Yeah, I know it's.
He's not a blind earthbender.
Nah.
He's only blind in the one eye.
He. Oh wait, so then he would be the other fire guy.
Zuko.
He's Zuko. There you go.
Oh god.
Nah, we can
Joff.
call him.
Joff.
Yeah, we can call him
Joe.
Joffrey.
Joe. Oh god.
The fire sorcerer child.
But that's not Jeff. That's not
Joff.
My
That's-
name's Joff.
That's Geoff. What are you on about, Dismic? That's
You're
Geoff.
pronouncing it wrong, just like all these kids are grammaring wrong.
Joe.
All right, so yeah, if
Now you'd be wanting to be seeing the records?
Yes, please take me to them.
Okay, I'd be doing the showing. He leads you around a bit. So are you bringing the kid with?
yeah,
The kid's coming like hanging back a few feet as you definitely get the idea that he's been told to keep his distance from people just in case.
would Malachi be able to?
Just a minute, maybe.
No worries.
And baby one.
I'll be right back.
Same. I gotta pee. Also, Trisky time
Yeah,
limit.
I'll
Yep.
go BRB2 then.
I have returned.
I am back with a very belated mug of coffee.
Nice.
I'm back.
All right.
Is Zach still babying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Baby.
The baby.
The baby.
Let's go.
The baby car.
So after this, where do we want to go?
Well, we're going to the records right now.
After the record, I meant.
Well, it depends. Holtz is much more interested in what the Spear of Light's doing. So if there's any record of that, he wants to go that direction. But
So
otherwise,
basically-
he'll also want to see why Dark Eldar are on this planet.
Yeah, I want to see the Wood Elves if they are. I'm pretty sure that Sator would have finished the wrestling and would have actually understood what the Dark Eldar are somewhat from you.
I want to
Talking
crump
about
the
it.
knife-eared gits.
Yeah, most people don't realize that there's a difference between Eldar and Dark Eldar, which is why I brought up.
Yeah.
Most people in universe, I mean, not
Yeah.
out of universe, because like obviously we have context, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's different Eldar. Yeah. Some of them will just kill you. The others will torture you for infinity.
Jeez. How,
Uh.
I'm kind of curious now, a little bit. How many astropaths do you think are kind of sanctioned per day for EMS?
Um,
a lot.
mhm.
I didn't know whether or not it would be the same or more of Emperor or Psychers fed to EMS.
It's basic. So
It's
the
Game
Psychers
Workshop
is
numbers. It's gonna be bullshit.
Probably.
with the
Yeah.
Psychers, basically most of them get fed to Big E because and they cannot control their powers anyway. So
I mean,
who can control their powers, they are considered to be brought into something else, I guess.
to be like, honestly, like, there's so many people being born in the galaxy that like 1,000 psychers a day is barely a dent in like the total amount of psychers.
Yep, because of 40k numbers.
Yeah, like there's probably literally trillions of people. So like 1,000 psychers is probably like, not even like 1%.
Quintillion.
They can throw as many psychers as Big E as they want or train them. It's possible that, oh, this psyker doesn't know at all how to use his powers, just throw him at Big E.
Yeah, I mean, like that's basically it. Like,
Yeah, if they have, would it be that basically if they have any clue at all how they use it, they'll find another use for them, I guess.
like let's see if there's like 1 trillion psychers using that number that number Malik or Sponge posted in general. Let's see. What's point? So that's 1,000. That's 1/10,000. That's 1/10,000, not 1/1,000,000th. So tens, 100,000s, 10,000s, 100,000s. You need 2 more zeros.
Shit.
So yeah, I put in 1 trillion times. So there's basically 2, 3, 4. Yeah, basically 1,000,000 psychers per trillion people.
And how many trillions of people died in the horror heresy alone?
Yes.
There's 1,000,000 worlds, and if each of them hold like 1 billion people minimum, that's a quadrillion. So
So yeah, there's a lot of psychers.
yeah, there's a lot of fucking psychers.
Oh boy.
Actually, no. Yeah, no, a quadrillion.
Yep.
And considering that multiple hive worlds have like upwards of like 15 billion.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that you can also breed people in tubes.
I wonder if Fatborn can be psychers.
I don't know. I feel like if they messed around with the genes, they could just breed psychers straight up from tubes.
Yeah.
Because how the fuck they get so many guardsmen from Cadia? And in general. And is every single person in Cadia a fucking guardsman?
Yeah, they could genetically clone possibly a psyker. If they got it, well, yeah.
There are so many vat-grown fucking humans in Warhammer 40k. It's not even baffling anymore. It's just run of the mill.
Even the Dark Eldar are vet grown.
Literally, we solved the Emperor hunger problem. Just Vagro psychers.
The Emperor's Hunger
Basically.
Games.
I mean, they probably still throw like a bunch of psychers to Emps anyways, simply because like unsanctioned psychers are just. I mean, psychers in general are just like a window to the warp for a demon to just jump through.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I don't know if
They
they want to grow psychers, to be honest.
They only want psychers who can control themselves and they can keep in check, I'm going to guess.
And even those psychers aren't trusted very much. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's like legitimate discrimination about witches.
Yeah.
They're taught to be feared and rejected and killed.
Mhm.
Hey, Salem all over again, except on a fucking universal scale.
They never kill navigators because they are way too useful.
Navigators have their own like secret society.
Yep,
Like-
I know.
That like one of the High Lords of Terra is a navigator.
Yeah, I know. There is I don't remember what it was called, where it's basically the big boy navigator, and the house of, and whatever house that navigator is from, just the navigators of that house just become a whole lot more powerful for some reason.
Yeah.
And of course, that navigator is very, very powerful, but very likely, and I'm pretty sure very mutated too, but can still live for a very long period of time.
Yeah, navigators are basically the exception to the rule.
Yeah.
Like I don't even think like the Astra Telepathica has like a High Lord of Terra. I think it's the Arbites, the Imperial Navy, the Navigators, and the Adeptus Mechanicus and the Ecclesiarchy. And I think those are the High Lords of Terra.
Yep.
Why is it so fucking cool to watch someone take apart like a really fucking like dirty ass fucking watch, clean it part by part, and put it back the fuck together?
I don't know.
Like, holy shit, I'm just watching this thing and this is fucking like relaxing as shit to watch even without audio on.
Mhm. I'm gonna go BRB for a minute. I'll just grab a
It's
snack.
just one of those things like it's like the feeling of watching something get completed, you know, like when like the DVD logo bounces in the corner just right.
Yes! Oh, the logo got in the corner just right! Oh, yeah!
But yeah, this is such a fucking good video. It's like a watch that's obviously been like caked in dirt and mud from like the bottom of the fucking ocean or some shit. Holy fuck, man. Nice good filing. Show. Yes, I'm both interested in meeting these fucking and probably beating the shit out of the fucking what we out of character obviously know are gonna be the true Kari, but what we in character like Gizmek just sees. Hey, knife ears!
I'm pretty sure some of us in character, like, yeah, they're probably Jukari. Like, I rolled like a almost 5 degrees.
You definitely know. You definitely
Yeah.
know, and you could probably
Yeah.
communicate that to the other guys. But Gizmek would probably just hear that and be like, "Knife ears."
Yeah, I don't think we really need to explain it to Gizmek. He's already got the spirit.
Shit to Crump. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But Gizmek's also got like this notion that he really wants to head on over to these quote unquote orcs that are there and crump them into the right orc spirit of not
Yep.
being so nice.
That's gonna be funny.
They spell it with a C, not a K. They don't know what a K is.
Can the
Yeah, and that's
Drukhari
wrong.
gonna regenerate with their torture by torturing orcs?
That ain't right. I feel like Drukhari would absolutely hate the orcs because the orcs can't feel torture, basically. Like, torturing
feel like
torturing
some of them
orcs
would
is like torturing a brick wall.
Yeah. Also, like, I'm pretty sure the Drukhari don't like the orcs because they're like settling on worlds that were once Eldari, and technically they are Eldari. And I mean, there's just a lot of reasons for Eldari to hate orcs.
Yeah.
I mean, they were
course,
both
Eldari
created. They were both created by the old ones
Yeah,
for like completely
Well-
polar opposite design purposes.
actually, the old ones created the
Created the
Krorks.
Krorks, which degenerated into the orcs.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they created the Eldari or not, but yeah.
No, they
created the Eldari.
they absolutely created the Eldar. That's 100% confirmed.
Alrighty.
Yeah,
It's just that the orcs
the old ones
degenerated
the
Eldari,
old
dude.
ones created the Krorks and the Eldari as counters to the Necrons in the War in the Heavens back in the day, like in the early origins of the Warhammer 40k universe.
Yeah.
And the Krorks, which were originally even bigger and actually had some semblance of intelligence, degraded into the orcs over time that we know today.
But we don't know how.
The
we
War in the
have
Heavens was
we have like
basically
zero
pre-chaos.
we have like zero fucking lore on the Krorks.
Yeah.
Other than they existed, they were stronger and bigger and smarter, and then they stopped being that. That's
We have
basically
more-
all we've got
We
on the
have
Krorks.
more lore on the squats than on the quartz.
Yeah, we have more lore on the squats than we do on the Quarks. But the thing
Even
is,
though
like,
I
but the thing
feel
is, like,
the
the thing with the squats is that the squats were a very interesting thing. They wanted to bring the squats back, it just never happened, and then
Yep.
it became a running joke.
Yep. And also,
But they
I
have
feel like
gotten some official things in like Necromunda and stuff recently.
Yeah. I feel like the Eldari would know something about the quartz because, yeah. At least there will be
Some
one
of them might.
At
Maybe the
least
Black
one of
Library.
At least one of them should have noted down something other than the Black Library. Even though they motherfuck each other, I'm pretty sure that at least someone must have written down something.
Imagine some Harlequin players might know, but like
Yeah.
those. Good luck getting a Harlequin to talk to anyone that isn't Eldari.
Instead of
Yeah.
murdering you.
Harlequins are fucking fancy as shit, and they're pretty great.
They
But they're
also
also
never talk
pretty
to you
fucking-
outside of character. They are their character, and that's it.
Harlequins are, yeah.
Isn't there also not that much lore on the Harlequins or?
Harlequins have a good bit of lore, actually. Like when Robot Gorilla Man got revived, the Laughing God apparently had a plan to basically like take down Slanesh, and it's part of it's finally getting revealed.
Alrighty.
Yeah, like the Laughing God is the entire reason why the Harlequins are completely the only like Eldar that are completely exempt from Slanesh's grasp.
Yeah.
Like,
Except for
they-
the Solitaires, who play Slanesh herself. But yeah, even then, like the Laughing God will try to intervene on their behalf.
Didn't he even fucking like raid Slanesh's soul cabinet or something and free a bunch of Eldari souls once?
Yeah, the Laughing God's kind of a badass.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Hey, I
talking
can get
about-
rid of this message though.
We were talking about Decoras.
You're talking about Seagorath or something?
Yeah, we're just talking.
Yeah.
We were
just
talking about
Eldar
the
lore.
Laughing God, yeah.
Good, the book now?
But yeah, we're going to the records.
I'm bringing along, what is it, Jeffrey?
Yeah.
Joffrey?
Joffrey.
I just realised that's the boy in Game of Thrones. That everybody hates it.
Except this one we will be loving very much, and so it's a dichotomy.
Yeah. So you guys get led over towards this. Good. What for these guys is probably an impressive building, but is fairly shit for you guys. Yeah, it's like it's smaller than the like longhouse thing that you're in for the feast. It looks kind of pretty.
It's nothing compared to the beauty that is the Imperium core worlds.
Yeah. It's the prettiest building that you've seen here, but it's not really pretty by your standard. It's a step up from everywhere else, but it's something.
I literally travel the stars in a space cathedral.
It's pretty hard to impress you with wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I go in.
Like it. God, what does he call it? This is being the archives. I'd be showing you. He steps inside, and you see a few essentially end tables, pretty much, with these very old-looking books.
I go over to the books. Are they in low Gothic or high Gothic?
Being the careful, they're very old. Older than me. Older than me they are being.
I can tell that. Are they in high Gothic, low Gothic?
Yeah, they're written in low Gothic.
Okay. I try and read what I can.
Roll me either literacy or low Gothic. I think literacy probably makes the most sense.
I have both of them, but yeah. Any modifiers? Or
I'll say a plus 10.
plus 10? Okay.
So it would be more because it's simple language. It is also quite old.
All right. Here's where I fail. I'm gonna roll.
Wow, you rolled a magical failure there.
I'm gonna spend my last fate point to reroll
Okay.
because I used all the other one.
Get another 100.
I'm ready. I'm expecting it.
Somehow it actually rolls 2d 100. What?
How did you fail by more?
I didn't.
You forgot to add the plus 10.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's negative 4.9, but it's still like a 96.
You didn't roll a 100, so you didn't break the book.
Gizmek's gonna come over and just be like, out of the way!
If Gizmek tries to approach the book, he'd be like, no, we not be doing the touching of. Actually, I try to stop you. Yeah.
Gizmek comes over.
Very gingerly looking through the book.
I also had a -5 to that too, because it's an int test in a place that's not a proper hab. So that would have been a negative 5 point. That would have been a negative 5.4 degrees success.
So you have no idea how to read this shit.
Well, it's like you start to go through it, but you're having to be very careful with the books. If you're any tiny movement, it feels like it's going to cause these things to turn to dust.
So do you mind if I give you an idea of what I think how I think this scene should go?
Yeah.
So I think that what's happening is Holtz and his paranoia with how old these books is going to come over to them, and he's going to be being way too dainty with these books. He's not even barely going to get to page 1. Gizmek being really, really impatient at this point is just gonna be like, "Oh, you're being way too pansy, out of the way!" He's gonna push aside the elder, not too hard or anything, not breaking him or anything. He's gonna push Holtz aside, and even in his daintiness, he's gonna open up the books. The books are gonna be fine. They're not actually as old as everyone's making them out to be. He's going to open them up and start reading them like normal.
They are very old. They're just a bit tougher than they look.
Yeah.
Being Gizmek, you probably pull off a few corners by accident. But you don't ruin the text or anything. Yeah, it's definitely they're hard to read. It's in it's very much in cursive. Well, it's not really in cursive, it's just in really bad handwriting. It's almost like chicken scratch. It is legible as low Gothic, even if...
so it's normal handwriting to Gizmek.
Yeah, a lot of the ink is like bled out and made some words illegible and kind of bled into other words. Like turned some words to look like some other words. Yeah, it just seems to be like, yeah, reading through this seems to be like the diary of some guy that's kind of chronicling them being like dropped off here and like
What's
trying
his
to figure
name?
out what the hell they're gonna do.
What's the guy's
Yeah, so
name?
like the diary of one of the criminals that got dropped off here. And they like set up a small settlement, and then more people kept getting dropped off.
What is the criminal's name?
You can't read the name. The name is illegible.
That's such a fucking cop out.
The name all bled through, and you can't really make it out.
Name is over 5,000 years old.
Anything about the Dark Eldar in there?
Yeah, there'd be like in one bit, like more like near the end, there'd be mentions of like, yeah, he wouldn't know what they are, but of these really tall, like presumably aliens from like the design of the armor and stuff that came out and took some people. And that he was gonna like get up a group and they were gonna go and see them off. And then that was the last entry in that one.
Kit went to go try and take care of the fucking knife-edge and he didn't write anything else. Probably died. Girl got crumpled broad.
And then you'll see like the other ones seem to be like storybooks. It's like almost seems like a diary of somebody's like D&D game kind of feel to it.
Oh, boy. Out of character, that guy is probably still alive, but he's just a hat now.
Like, you know, this world has stopped being used as a prison world like thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
No, I meant because of the
Oh no, yeah, he's talking about the prisoner who just like wrote that story. He's probably being tortured and turned into a couch or a hat by now.
Anyway.
Yeah, they got this one diary of the guy who's like, all right, we got dropped off here, and they're trying to figure out what to do. And these are just like fairy tales essentially, and that seems to be where they got like the names for everything. It's like they got the name of like a chicken because it wasn't described; it was just called like an animal that humans had and raised, but not actually described. They just found that thing like that is our chicken. Yeah, they started like seeming like naming stuff after the stuff that they saw in these books.
These humans be reading all these fairy tales and stuff.
I just imagine what happens at this point is Gizmek is reading these books and he's
one that is a lot less old than the rest and is like their religious text, which is like fairly newly written.
I'm gonna read it.
It is talking about old daddy.
Anything that mentions the last time the Sky People came down, like the last time, like specifically anything about the Spear of Light.
Oh, do you ask about that, or you just said through looking for that?
I'll ask him about that. I trust my fellowship a lot more than my int. It's like, do you have any records of the last time Sky People came down?
Oh, we do not do the writing of, but I have story. The father of mine was there, and he told me about it.
Go on.
Yeah, see, like, yeah, I'm not gonna keep doing that voice trying to describe the entire thing.
No, go on. It was very good.
Yeah, keep doing the voice.
Say the line, Zach.
Say the line, Zach.
I didn't do it. Yes,
We're going to,
let me think. How does he actually describe all of this then? Because I did not prepare it.
we're going to be a
just like GM, just like shit. They want me to keep doing the voice. Fuck shit, snack.
Yeah, so the Sky People did the coming of down, and the chieftain went to meet with them, and he spoke with them much as I did with you. He talked with them. We did much the same as we did with you. Gave them the feast, showed to them the chickens. They seemed quite interested in the chickens. I believe they took one when they left. And they went into the forest, saying they were going to go and deal with the elves. And then they came back, and then they left. Just came back and grabbed a chicken, and then they left back into the sky. But then the elves stopped attacking so much, and then some did still come, but they did not seem as good. And then they stopped using their armor and their weapons, and they just used spears. So we thank the Sky People as they did great much help for us.
Did they take anything? Did they have anything with them besides the chicken when they left?
We do not know the knowing. So their elder came and spoke with us, and then took one of the chickens. But the rest of them just went back to their bird.
I see.
So
They called
methinks
it
you
the
should
Thunder
probably
Hawk.
leave them one of the
The
fucking
what now?
dictionaries you
They
got.
did the calling it of a Thunderhawk.
The Thunderhawk.
Yes. That is what they did to the calling of their Skybird.
Oh,
Or their Spacebird.
that's the thing. That's a personal flyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's mostly used by like Space Marines, but like, other people do use them. It's like an armored gunship that can also
Yeah.
transport.
We have like an Aquila. We have the cheap.
We have the dinky
know.
version.
Yeah, it's like if there's a spectrum of it, it goes Aquila all the way down to Thunderhawk. Thunderhawk is like the best you can get.
Gotcha.
So they was packing heat even when they was just coming down to the world.
They came ready for shit.
I mean, we also brought an orc, so
Yeah. They brought a Thunderhawk, we brought an Orc.
I'm basically just your Hulk. Except I'm probably even fucking dumber because I get you into worse shit.
Captain,
yes.
I'm beginning to wonder two things. One, either their chicken might be the thing that we're after, or two, whatever they came for the Eldar.
It's likely the Eldar probably had what they were looking for. If we're going to get to the bottom of this, that'll be our next step.
Well, if we want that, then we need to stop tearing around here and go crunch some gits.
Well, there will be many of the thanking if you deal with the Wood Elves for us. They are quite a nuisance, yes? Would be much thanking.
We'll go speak with these wood elves.
Yeah, yeah,
They just do the stabbing.
speaking.
Gizmek starts revving up his axe.
They will.
They made a clicking, but they do not speak now. They just come and do the grabbing and the stabbing.
They will think twice when they see my friend here. If not, well, there won't.
They
much
will
to
be
it.
thinking much more.
Oh god. Also, could I read the while all of this is happening? Could I read the religious text?
Yeah, so it seems like somebody somebody photocopied the Lectito Divinatus and just kept photocopying it. But like not like photocopying, like somebody wrote down the Lectito Divinatus, then somebody copied that, then somebody copied that. It's just kind of Chinese whispered down the generations. And it's come to the point where they think that the sun is Sky Daddy looking over them.
Oh, so it's like super telephoned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
Oh,
telephoned.
daddy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's still recognizable that that's where it came from. Like you can get where all of the you can see where all of the changes happened. So you could imagine going back and seeing the changes.
Oi!
It is
An Inquisitor would.
yeah, it's borderline heretical, but it's close enough that you can just get them back on track. Thank you.
Yeah.
The Inquisitor would probably be like, "All right, here's the actual thing," and
Follow this.
it would be
or
hard
you
for us to
die.
say heresy.
I'd say depends on the Inquisitor.
Yeah, it would be heresy if they refused to.
Well, an Inquisitor out here probably wouldn't be like like the same as the Inquisitor like on Terra, because like the Imperium's pretty like open culturally. You just can't be a filthy Xenos.
Yeah, like human culture is very wildly. It's just all of them follow the Emperor in the exact same way. The religion is the one
They
thing.
see the Emperor. Yeah. I mean, even then, like you can worship the Emperor as long as he's the Emperor.
Yeah, you still need the Omnissiah. You can also worship the Omnissiah.
Yeah, technically.
Only if you're part of the mechanics.
Anything else is heretical.
At this point, Gizmek sort of just turns to Holt and he's just like,
I get what we're doing this. Why don't you tell you that little ship of yours to send out some fucking dictionaries?
Diction. Could be. That actually could be useful. Do we have dictionaries on the ship?
Probably a few.
Yeah, I would.
Dictionaries and some of your, like, I don't know, big glowing Yumi books. I don't know what the heck you call them. Not that omniscient boy. What the other one?
The rogue tradership and like kind of like bringing new places that you find into the fold is kind of part of your job. You would probably have some crew, if not that many, who are like trained for this kind of thing, that are trained to like get cultures back onto the imperial norm. So you can certainly bring them down and start just like seeding them onto the place to fix them.
Yeah. I'll probably like make a trade deal. Like, hey, we'd like a few of those chickens in crates, wooden crates, so they don't chew the metal. And in exchange, we'll give you like dictionaries, so you can study Low Gothic and like actually have your people back on the imperial norm. And also like a proper religious book that explains the true scale of the God Emperor of mankind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Scribe down all what this elder is saying.
They seem really happy with that. Like they have a lot of chicken. Like chickens seem like they're probably like the dominant species of this planet. Like by far.
Yeah,
there's like 10 chickens to every human.
Yeah, I'm taking those chickens to the nearest Forge World, and I'm gonna be like, hey, you want free metalworking?
Free? You're a rogue trader. Come on now, Holtz.
You want very efficient metalworking.
No, it's free metalworking, but also you give me this.
Yeah, I have a finder's fee for
You want self-sustaining metalworking.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go around and set that up, and yeah, it's not that hard. They can make a couple crates, get them in there. So yeah, the chickens are like extremely docile, like no fear of humans, just walk around following them, like very well trained dogs. But you don't see anybody like seemingly like training them. But it's like, hey, come on, get in here, and they like gesture them in, they follow them in.
Yeah, they live with humans for thousands of years, so yeah.
So they don't even like throw a bit of metal in to get them in there. They just like put the crate down and gesture them in. They just walk in.
All right. Yeah, and I'll have people deliver like dictionaries to the elder, things like that. So
there's some back and forth of shuttles. I mean, there are a few. I don't know if they remembrances because they are still a thing. Yeah, kind of people that like trained to kind of like work with new cultures and adapt them and all that. So yeah, they start coming down with some dictionaries with them, some books to actually show them. Yeah, and you get a crate full of chickens.
Yep.
So you probably get several crates of chickens.
Crate full of quote-unquote chickens.
Your profit factor. It wouldn't just be a flat like one profit factor because you can do stuff with it to get various amounts.
Yeah, we can use it for a lot.
Several crates of chickens.
We're just gonna put it in the held items. Several crates.
If we want to give
the profit factor, so I don't forget.
If we want to, we can give the chickens. We can give the chickens metal, and then they'll give food to the quote food to the crew.
Yep. I mean, yeah, no, that's also free food. So metalworking and free food, and
but
food
it is
production.
not free. They need to eat metal to make the paste.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Also, are we going to ask how do they breed, or do they just breed normally? Because that's
they breed in the normal. There's male, there's males and females.
Yeah.
They breed very quick. They breed like rabbits. Which is why there's so many of them.
So we'll probably be able to
be, like surprisingly dangerous in big groups. Like that you can shoot through metal, but they go straight through flesh.
Oh boy!
Like people have made mistakes of coming and kicking one, and then gotten their legs just devoured in seconds.
They're
very like swarm mentality. Like you kick one, all of them will come.
They're basically the fucking cuckoos from Hyrule.
Oh god!
Except they're worse. Holy shit!
If you upset one, they all just swarm you
and murder you.
But it's also the thing of they've never actually killed a human that they know of. Like they've eaten legs and left them basically with no legs, but they didn't actually die. They survived.
How the fuck did they survive from like a gashing blood wound on a feudal planet?
A lot of medical attention. Because you'd be surprised what people can survive. It was not fun, but they managed to get
you don't fucking say!
They got the...
But yeah.
Go ahead,
yeah, it was like Okay, once we get that, like we'd also like take our Aquila and start heading towards the forested area.
Yeah, so the forest is like about a mile outside of the I don't know what it is in kilometers. I know miles better. Yeah, it's about a mile outside of the town.
Just like approximate them about the same. They're not like there's a notable difference between them, but they're close enough that you can just do it about the same.
Yep, a mile is 1.6 kilometers.
So you could fly closer. It's like for a quicker escape if you needed it. But yeah, it's like a 10-15 minute walk.
Yeah, just fucking walk.
Yeah, so you like hang out in the town for a couple of hours, get that done back and forth. Probably like hang out in the shuttle for that, so you have clean air.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're bringing the boy with us.
Yep. Boy.
Yeah, bring the boy in the spaceship, show him a ride.
Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely be like, if you bring him in the spaceship, he's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Come on, come sit on Papa Gizmek's lap. We'll go watch the window as it passes by.
World
I'd say,
suddenly
like,
starts
yeah, when
flying
you
up.
come back to your shuttle, you would see like a few of the soldiers kind of around it, seemingly guarding it. And you see like some chickens kind of like walk up and then they kind of poke them and they walk off. They seem to be like stopping the chickens from eating your ship.
Thank you, kind soldiers.
Yeah, they just kind of like nod as you approach.
Good thing. It's probably a good thing that we parked close by.
Mm-hmm.
If we parked too far away, wild chickens might be eating it.
Yep.
We would have had to
And then
Elkai give a
like,
message.
a couple thousand in the town. There are a load outside as well. Just they seem like they're fucking everywhere.
Oh my gosh! Now I finally get it. The Elder had their fucking armor and shit eaten by the chickens.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! I was wondering where did this stuff go. It makes so much sense.
Wait, is the webway gate made of metal?
You don't know.
And the Eldar will like.
We'll find
no,
out.
fuck
All right,
off.
let's
They
fucking go. I want to leave some of this in mystery. Let's fucking
Instead
go.
of the Eldar being like, no, go away. They were like, fuck off, and then punch them, and then they get fucking swarmed.
So you
Oh
guys have
no!
found the bioweapon to use against Necrons.
Oh my god! Yeah, this would actually be a really good anti-Necron bioweapon.
Let's
If
go
trained.
to a world.
Airdrop chickens onto a Necron tube world.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
They
No, I
eat
might
like
need to
tyranid.
contact. I might need to contact Dalty and be like, "Hey,
Oh god.
The Imperium
chicken-
have their own version of a
the-
Scarab Swarm now.
Oh god. The chickens start to eat the Necron like they're the fucking tumult that like they're tyrannids.
Contact Holy Terra. This is important.
Yeah, the chickens, they don't seem durable. Like, a sharp kick would probably kill it.
But there's so many of them.
It's just that, if in a swarm of like a couple hundred, dangerous.
Anyway, let's just continue on.
Yeah, you guys have these thoughts and you start heading towards the forest. Yeah, it's like the trees look not the best. They're fairly thin and not a whole lot of leaves, but they're obviously trees of some form. They're not exactly like earth trees, but they're close enough that they're recognizable as trees.
Actual wood.
Yeah, it's obviously where they get the wood from.
Also, can we get some of this wood later?
for more
Is it-
crates."
I mean, yeah, you'll
No,
want
for
wood to
furniture,
transport
of
things
course.
that eat metal.
I suppose that we could spend some time to do that.
Another time. For now, we crump gits.
Of course.
While we're going, would Malachi be able to just keep on, talking with this child about small stuff, maybe show some minor psychic powers?
I'm just imagining Malachi and the child playing patty cake.
What would you roll for trying to teach?
I would assume if it's mental invocation, if it's like, lore-wise, could be common lore,
Oh, no,
forbidden
if
lore
it's-
psychers.
I do not know what the invocation skill is.
It's basically like teaching people how to be calm, or calming the psyker to improve his psi rating.
Yeah, that makes sense. You can roll that.
Okay.
Essentially, you do it, but yeah, you'd be teaching him that too.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, so with somebody who actually knows what it's like, you're able to actually explain how it works.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he's able to like calm it down a bit, and yeah, he seems to be greatly benefiting from that.
Awesome. Awesome. Hopefully no more booms.
Yeah, sort of like you'd been seeing him like as he was going along, there was like almost like you could see like fire under his skin, as like there almost like burn marks on his hand. You start to see this like glowing red beneath it, and like his one working eye started to slowly turn red. You start like like caught in that technique, and he like focuses on that kind of meditation, and the reds like slowly dissipate.
Nice.
You have successfully staved off him going boom.
I staved a boom.
You saved him.
Yeah, you
from
guys
the-
start heading through the forest. And does anybody have navigate surface?
I do not.
Nope.
I get like next rank.
Nope.
This is gonna be funny. Let's go.
Okay, so thankfully the boy would have it, so he'll be rolling to guide you.
Good thing that we brought the boy along.
Public roll this for the hell of it, so you guys know I am not cheating.
Can we spend a fate point to let the boy reroll?
I'll say Malachi can.
Yep.
All right. I'll use one of my plentiful.
Good, the person who actually has a reroll pool.
Malachi roll 1d10.
Oh,
So
yeah,
he
that's
still
right.
fails. He would have a target of 40. Not by a whole lot. Yeah, so you start going in there and quickly realize, like, wait, how the fuck do we navigate in here? And then the boy, like,
What do you mean? Holtz is literally like, what do you mean navigate?
Yeah, it's
We
gonna
just
you
follow
guys
the-
quickly realize that you have no idea where the fuck you are. You got turned around very quickly. And
Oh,
the boy,
there's
like,
no-
like, trying to help, kind of pointing out some like minor landmarks that he recognized. Like he studied maps of the place. And, like, okay, think they're like this way. You start trying to find your way through the forest. And you're definitely turning around, coming back on yourselves, and you're not making good progress through these forests. They get pretty dense very quickly.
Gizmek is going to start just like every now and then Gizmek is going to get really annoying. If we come back at a place where we know we've been before, Gizmek is going to cut down a tree as just like a sign. He's just going to pull out his axe and cut down like a weedy tree and just leave it there.
Yeah, you start like marking your path.
Yeah, with
Gizmek
with
has
the
to
corpses
leave.
of trees.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
know the trees are cut down like that, so they're pretty obvious landmark. But you
You're
also
warning
are
our
not
enemies.
quiet.
Thanks.
I said, yeah, with that, you're able to like stop yourselves from getting lost, but you are also not healthy whatsoever. And
Yeah, who needs stealth?
coming from miles away.
I don't think we were planning on being stealthy, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And then, okay. So then, click.
Wait, Zach, before you do whatever ambush is about to happen, would it be all right if Malachi, knowing that we were going into possibly a threat, he goes ahead and manifests a power?
Oh, what power?
This power is going to be Psychic Dodge.
Alright, how long does it last?
It is maintained.
Okay.
Let me go ahead.
Yeah,
and
Makes
you can
sense
roll
then.
to it, see if you summon a demon.
I'll see. I'll try. I'll try not to. Try. Tried indeed.
Oh boy.
Alright, so what does Psychic Dodge do?
So around Malachi, nothing appears to change, but he knows that he's concentrating on basically at a moment's notice. If something were to get in his range, a miniature warp portal would open and catch the projectile of any type.
And give me a rough like marching order.
Gizmek first, I assume.
I'll use rat.
Oh yeah, Gizmek's
I'll use
first.
Ratskin's token to represent the boy. I'll get a token for it later.
Okay. Okay, would stand next to the boy.
Holtz is probably closer to the front.
So is this for an order?
Would Holt mind if I am in front or no?
It doesn't matter to Holtz that much.
I'll stay in front. Then.
Okay.
So you're in, yeah, I don't imagine you're actually walking just in a line. You're not going conga.
Oh yeah, and I should be
got
at max health by now, I would assume.
Yeah, you're fully healed. Yeah, you had a week of travel. You're fine.
I didn't really have time to rest to get rid of the one fatigue I got there, but yeah, it doesn't matter too much.
You
Hopefully.
guys start just traveling through these forests, kind of like cutting down trees every now and then on Gizmek's Park to make sure you can keep your track.
Not-
The boy can
Sector,
try to help here and there, pointing out some certain landmarks, like spotting the tops of the mountain through the trees to keep you in the right direction.
As Sator is getting slightly more paranoid about this place and trying to understand where he is, he's gonna use some life mist to understand his surroundings a bit more.
Yeah, as you go along, Sato gets out this like inhaler and just purple mist.
Yup, I roll to D5. 4 hours.
Yeah, so he puffs out and we get kind of like a POV shot from Sator as the saturation just jacks way the fuck up. Like every single color is distinct. Probably like spot a few like bird-like creatures hopping around at the tops of the trees. You like notice a slight movement and look down and see like something kind of like a centipede kind of wiggling through the undergrowth. You know, spotting all of these tiny little details.
Oh, it's a Cadishan devil.
And also how for how
So
long
very
my teeth will be purple for. 8 hours.
Very purpley teeth.
Indeed.
Yeah. So Sato, what is your perception?
Oh
with
boy.
this stuff?
My my base perception is got a 44 and I have a plus 20 on awareness and this gives me a plus 20.
So base 76?
If you are going off awareness, it's 84.
Damn. So yeah, so you, thanks to Paranoid, you
No.
managed to notice this. Holtz just failed.
Okay.
As you're going along with this like enhanced vision, you're kind of like getting distracted by like the way like a sunbeam comes down through the branches. You like see the beam of light kind of stare at it as you go past and kind of snap back forward. And you notice just this tiny little like line where like the light isn't quite right. And it takes you a moment like, oh, that's a tripwire.
Stop.
Wait, what?
Gizmek stops.
Yeah, he's like
That's a wire.
getting into the tripwire. You noticed it just in time.
Yeah, I just point towards it. That's a tripwire.
Oh, it's one of them things. So what was I supposed to do for these again? Walk straight through them, or
Step over it, Gizmek.
Oh yeah, there.
Gizmek just like hops over it.
Is there? Can I see like where it's connected to, or?
Yeah, you guys can like you can step over and kind of look around, and you look up and see like several like sharpened spikes above it. So if you trigger it, it would have shot down and just filled you full of essentially, yeah, it's like small spears. It would just like dropped from above onto you.
Assuming primitive spears.
Yeah, you can see daubed quite generously with what looks like excrement.
Ah, poison.
Yeah.
Got it.
All the very nice way, all the nice primitive ways of really fucking somebody up.
All right. Is there a tree nearby that's like, you know, not necessarily the longest one, like a baby tree or something that I could cut down and use it just like trip the tripwire from a distance?
Well, you could find like a big stick, yeah. You don't have to chop down a tree to find a stick. You're in a forest.
But I'm a fucking orc. I have to calm down and treat here shit.
Yeah, you could just like cut off a branch.
Yeah, I cut off a really long branch. I tripped the tripwire from a distance so we don't have to deal with this shit if we're in a run on the way back.
You see, trying to slap the stick down and all of those things drop down, apparently held under some kind of tension, and just shoot into the ground.
Gizmek goes back and picks one up and looks at it.
It's just like a sharpened stick with a fair amount of feces on the end.
Yeah, it's boring.
He takes the stick, just like does the full on like you know the pose they have in those things where it's just like they hold out their hand like proper, like aligning it to the wind, the other hand like held back, just like full on spear toss mode, just like holding it, and he just like lobs it into the distance.
You just yeet that thing.
Yeah, he just yeets it into the distance.
You don't do Kobe, you do yeet, because you're using power, not accuracy.
He yeets it.
Yep. Just yeet that thing off into the forest.
Yeah, arbitrarily.
Roll a ballistic skill.
That was just the strength to see how far it goes. For ballistic skill, that's going to be worse.
Any
Roll to see if
minuses?
you hit a random Eldar.
If you just yeet that, you're hits into a tree some way off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, you might have spared an animal with that. You weren't going to find a random Eldar hiding.
Unless I roll a
Yeah.
1.
Spared an Asqualia squirrel.
What if it was a net 1 though?
You would have spared the fuck out of a squirrel. That squirrel would have been real dead.
Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, so my ballistic skill is 30. I'm not that great at it.
You guys continue on. Yeah, so you're continuing on. Probably like, you guys don't actually know where you're going. You don't actually know what you're trying to find.
Well, we found a trap, so I'm assuming that we're getting
Yeah.
closer.
Yeah, it's like, are you guys just gonna like head into the forest, like heading for the mountains kind of thing? You
Pretty
actually
like
yeah.
we're gonna keep going until we find something, unless it like takes forever, and then we'll just be like, you know what, this is taking forever.
They'll probably just like occur to you after that, like, we don't actually know where the thing is that we're trying to find.
I'm assuming we're gonna find something eventually.
Yeah, let's just start going. I'll have the kid roll the navigation.
Because of
Hey,
Seated.
nice.
Yeah, so he starts like with that. He actually asks asks Malachi like, where are we actually going? Like, what are you trying to find?
we're trying to find the mountains, right?
Well, like
We're trying to find the
We're
knife
trying to find the
ears.
elves.
The
Yeah, we're
dark
trying to find
elves.
the wood elves.
We're trying to
Yeah.
find the wood elves or signs of the wood
Yeah,
elves.
so with that, he's like, oh, okay, I was actually shown how to find them. He could have told me
Like,
that earlier.
he didn't know the whole time.
Yeah, he didn't know what you were looking for, so he's just trying to like help you guys figure out what you were looking for. He didn't actually tell him. Oh, you're looking for them? Okay. Follow
We take
me
a
then.
full
I
180
know that
degree
way.
turn and go the opposite direction.
Okay, then I know roughly where their camp is, or where we think their camp is, because they showed him how to find the place for when he got sent out. He got sent out to burn everything he could before exploding. Yeah, he just leads you along. And yeah. Let's see. So what's your perception? Holtz and Sator?
My awareness is 35. Perception is also 35.
unless we spend it more than 4 hours,
Yeah, thing went to one up, yeah.
it's still 84.
Okay, so you failed. I rolled a 93.
Damn.
So you guys
I'm
are
assuming
going-
I also. Did you roll for both of us, or just is that
Yeah, I rolled a 78 for you.
okay? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, you guys are going along, and then let's see. Right, so 2 at Gizmek and 1 at Sator. I do it here. And a 99, so the first one misses. It's kind of a thing comes in, kind of plinks off of Gizmek's shoulder.
It was it.
Down just barely hits. Sator misses again. So there's and if you feel something like tink off of your armor and then into your neck, and Sator, you kind of hear Gizmek do that and duck quickly, and just something sails over your head.
And I see how it went right past me, and then I look where it came from.
And Gizmek, that is this will not hurt you. It's 9 damage of no pen. 10 damage, sorry. It's got a +1.
But is it
Physically
primitive?
cannot hurt you.
But is it primitive? It would still be halved.
Yeah, but also give me a
Doesn't it have to do damage before Poison it?
Not
Okay.
yeah, this isn't shocking. This is something else.
He's gonna start hallucinating.
Wait, so what's the thing?
A toughness test. Just a flat.
Right, flat. I just pass on
Nice.
0.6.
Yeah, so if you're just like this tiny little dart just tunk into your neck, and you're just like, ah. You pull out, and you see this like small bead of some like this like yellowish liquid, and you just drop that down. You're like, oh, nothing
No,
seems to happen.
he sees the small bead of a yellowish liquid, takes a lick, is just like, yeah, and then tosses it aside.
You see a small bead of yellow, it throw it away, it pops, it hits the ground because it's yellow. It goes boom. Yeah, and then Sato kind of looking at where the thing came from. You see this, this like very large humanoid-looking figure kind of up in the trees, crouched with this like blowpipe, and like seemingly reloading it.
Well,
I start speaking in Eldar. It's like, I would not recommend continuing this. It's basic untrained speak language Eldar, so it's probably a lot more broken, but it's something along to I would not recommend continuing.
I aim my
You're
my last.
like Gary. You're like, would not recommend do again.
I'm
Yeah.
going to aim my last pistol towards him, and I don't shoot only because Holt started to speak.
Oh, draw me an This be an intimidate for these guys. Can
I do the intimidate on his behalf and just be revving my fucking axe, ready to charge the motherfucker?
Can I use fellowship instead of strength?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, well I'm just gonna roll inquiry because it's the same. That would be yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have any rerolls, so
Yeah, so you
That
shout
makes
out,
sense.
they hesitate for a second, and then that will be initiative, and we'll pick that up next session.
Aw,
Oh,
we've got
boy.
half an hour.
yeah.
Yeah, not really enough time for a full combat.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's a full combat against primitives.
But I also don't
Yeah.
have.
It's still Dark Eldar.
Zach.
I don't have the map nor all of their sets. I just had their weapon. build.
Fair. There'll be something to look forward to next time.
Yeah.
It's giving us a bit of a cliffhanger of going to fight with the primitive Eldar.
All right.
But yeah. What is it? 1d10 plus 8 for me?
Well, we can roll this next session. 'cause-
Yeah, I'm just.
Advantage.
I got my one out of the way.
Alright, everyone, thank you very much for joining us for Rogue Trader. We only had one baby interruption this entire session somehow. Thank you for that, little baby sister of Zach's. You're only interrupting once somehow. It was for about 20 minutes, but it was still only one interruption, so we thank that. We hope you all enjoyed this lovely visit to this rather interesting little medieval planet of ours, and have a lovely day. This has been Rogue Trader with a Gring.
Take care of yourselves. Bye.